Hey, what's up? It's Sean Baligian.
What up? This is Joique Bell here on the Baligian and Bell Show.
Make sure you check us out on the Woodward Sports Network. What is up? Oh, sorry. What up? No. There's nothing funnier than a white guy saying it. I'm sorry. There just isn't. There's nothing funnier.
I know whenever he says "What up though," "What up though" Wednesdays, it reminds me of the scary movie. That jacket is tight, son. Yeah, I mean, run that.
Listen, I've had a joke for years, and actually your former coach, Coach Winters, knows about this. The mean streets of Livonia. You know, and everybody get their L's up, right? And for years, and Corey, I don't know if you know this, I did this for years on the radio, and maybe you see people talking about it on Twitter and whatnot, but it still comes up, the mean streets of Livonia, because there was that time, Joique, remember the whole Vanilla Ice thing? Remember that whole, you would have been little, but I'm sure you know about Vanilla Ice and everything. Yeah, for sure. Well, all of a sudden, all these kids in Livonia, got gangsta. And it was so, like, I'm not joking. You see all these kids, standing like this and doing this and stuff, and I'd literally say, knock it off. You're from Livonia. Like, cut it out.
Cut it out.
That's where the mean streets of Livonia came. Get
mean streets of Livonia. Get them L's up.
How you doing, bud? You all right?
I'm doing good, man. How's your day?
You know what? I'm happy, and I'll tell you why I'm happy. Because I think the Lions made a good move bringing Chris Spielman into the fold. Chris Spielman is not going to fix everything. He isn't. Chris Spielman, the coolest thing about Chris Spielman to me, Joique, was Chris Spielman telling everybody, I do not have, and I forget the exact quote, so I'm going to paraphrase here. I do not have the experience nor the knowledge to be general manager. And I think that's the first step, is saying, look, I can't do that. What I can do is bring my wealth of knowledge into the family and help find the right guy, because that was the problem. A lot of people are saying, and somebody tweeted at me today, hey, remember the last time the Lions brought a former linebacker in? How did that work out? And I said, here's the difference. Chris Spielman admits, I'm not a general manager, okay? Right. Matt Millen admitted years after he decimated this franchise, hey, I'm not a general manager. I think it's a smart move by the Lions. And quite frankly, and I'm not trying to embarrass you, I wish they'd bring in more guys from the past into the fold, whether it be Joique Bell, whether it be Herman Moore, guys that get this franchise, that still live in this area, that love the Detroit Lions.
I think we should get Barry in there too.
Absolutely.
Because Barry's still in the area.
Yep, absolutely.
So these are guys that, thanks for throwing my name in the hat, but these are guys that I think will help move this franchise forward. I met Barry twice, and I've been around Herman countless times. A good friend of mine. I actually called him before the show because I want to get his take on it, because I think his name is a staple in the community. And I think it'll be great to have a guy like that on the advisory board with the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
And so I think Spielman was a great pick to bring a great guy to bring in. I think we can bring in more guys of the same caliber, like with Herman Moore, even Sledge. The Sledge.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like Corey a lot, and these are guys that I've been around.
What a great dude.
Yeah, great guy.
We've had a good time with him up in Mount Pleasant. Yeah. We go up for the Super Bowl thing. And Corey's always up there, just a great dude.
Great guy. So these are guys I think we should bring into the franchise. Guys they're still a part of the community. They're still here. They're active in the community. So I think it's important to have those guys on the roster.
That's the one thing that has changed about the Lions. And I don't want to put you in a spot of uncomfortability here, Joique. So you feel free to chime in when you want. I think this franchise for years didn't pay ample attention to the guys that wore the Honolulu blue and silver. That's one man's opinion. I think for years, they just kind of said, well, that's the past and we've moved on. And I fully give Rod Wood all the credit for saying, you know what, we have to do a better job in the community. We have to let these guys know that they're family. And it's been so cool to see so many guys come back, whether it be you, whether it be, you and I were talking before the show started, Benny Blades. For guys my age, Benny's a freaking legend. Yeah. I mean, just legend. Love Benny. I loved him as a player. He was one of those guys when I was a young guy going into the locker room and everything. Benny gave you the best quotes, man. Benny, you just knew if you wanted something good, you went to Benny. And it was funny because I was talking to Benny Blades. You know guys like that.
So he was an Nate Burleson of your time.
You got it.
He was an Nate of your time.
You got it. So it was funny when Benny was here a couple years ago. He told me point blank. He goes, man, I can't tell you how much this means to me and guys from my time, because a lot of us felt like we were forgotten. And I think that's one thing that, amongst many things, that Rod Wood has done. Yeah. And I know that Rod's gotten a bum rap from a lot of people. Joique, one of the things that I think people need to understand is what Rod Wood does. Rod Wood isn't the football guy. Yeah. Rod Wood has done things like upgrading the archaic internet at Ford Field. Doing a lot of things in the community and trying to bring that Lion family together.
He does. So he does. I've had countless conversations with President Wood, and he does a lot for the community. I remember when I put on the peaceful march on Belle Isle, and I reached out to the team. Rod called me back immediately. Missed my phone call, but called me back immediately. I told him what I was trying to do, and he said, "What do you need from us?" He was on right away. I love how they took their time when they put out their statement about what happened after the George Floyd incident, how they took their time. It wasn't some generic they put out. They took time, they talked with the players, they got their input, and he really cares about the community. I think he's going about it the right way. And I understand what the players are saying, how they feel they might be forgotten. And I think we're doing a better job in getting more people in to come represent the Lions. Like, we're the Lions, that's us. We played for the team for 5+ years. We've been in the community, we're still here, and we want to help this franchise grow and become a winning, and have a winning culture.
Absolutely.
That's what we want. I mean, everybody wants that here. And I think the best way to do it is to bring people who really cares about the community. They care about the Lions franchise, and they care. That's what we need. We need people who care. And I think people like Herman Moore, Spielman, and Barry Sanders. I think we need guys like that in with the growth of this team as we move forward into the future.
We'll get your comments on that. Always like to pay some respect to some people that came in as well. Come on now, you want to come up and chat with us?
Sure.
What up there?
How she heard about it.
Hold on,
all right, here you go.
Hey, can you grab me a
You know what? In case you didn't know, the boys in the morning and the girls in the morning, everybody in the morning. The Morning Wood, how's that? Can we say that? They are collecting toys. They've been staying here all week. Yeah. And so during the course of the show, people can come in and drop off their shows. And maybe I could get this lovely lady her microphone. How's that? Here you go. Do you want to
mask up for?
Yeah. Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, talk into the microphone. Tell everybody. First of all, who are you?
Lori Lyle.
Hi, Lori. How are you?
I'm
Lori.
great. How are you guys?
Thanks for coming in.
Good.
So how did you hear about this?
I saw Kelly Stafford's post yesterday on Instagram, and it said that you guys needed stuff for older kids. So I was like, I know it's fun to buy all the little stuff for the cute little kids, but I get that the older ones, they want some other stuff.
That is so cool.
So I was running to Target this morning and thought I'll pick up some stuff and drop it back.
You are the best.
So what did you grab?
What's that?
What did you grab today?
A couple sets of headphones and a throw and some face masks and some Axe.
Okay, that's what's up.
Awesome.
You know what?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And Kelly Stafford, thank you so much for supporting our cause and coming out and really putting your pocketbook where your mouth is. And we know everything you do for the community. We appreciate it. Love you much. Thank you for bringing the stuff in.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
No.
Yeah, wanted to shake your hand and say thank you and
Thank
introduce
you.
you to everybody.
Thank you, guys.
No, thanks for coming on today.
Doing good.
Thank you. You can come down here and right
Come down
back to you.
anytime.
Stay safe.
So do you want to kind of harp on that really quickly about so people can come down and hopefully they can catch you before you leave so you can take a picture with them?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Come down here today. Bring whatever you can. Seriously. Whether it be a few bags, whether you want to go out and you want to go on a spending spree.
Yeah.
I know Jenna came in the other day. She also said, is it now Wayne State Wednesday? Jenna, I'm sorry. I wish we could have talked to you yesterday.
Yeah.
We apologize
You know what
adamantly.
though? It's Wayne State every day. It's just not Wayne State Wednesday. You know, it's Wayne State Mondays. So that's the one exception we'll make. Today is What Up Though Wednesdays, but we're definitely going to talk about Wayne State as well. I actually drove by Wayne State the other day, and I was driving down Warren by the Methite, and I was looking at the new arena.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's coming again. It's like they put it up overnight.
And the football, you know, they're upgrading the football stadium as well.
They put an elevator in there.
Yeah, getting the elevator
I
in there
saw
and
that.
everything. So it's Rob Fournier, their athletic director, just keeps getting work done because it's
He's a
amazing to me.
mastermind over there.
Unbelievable. I mean, like not enough is said. Joique, I can't imagine what it looked like for you the first day that you walked onto campus. I started in
Grassfield.
09. So I started in 09. It's night and day from 09. I can't even imagine how different it was even in the few years before that when you were there.
Oh yeah. I mean, from the football stadium to the campus. You see, they have the brand new dorms.
Absolutely.
The parking lot is gone. They're upgrading all the apartments. They tore down one apartment that it was just an eyesore. They tore that down, and that was about 20 floors up. I mean, Wayne State is legit.
That weight room's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I think it's like a 15,000 square foot weight room, brand new, state of the art. We're the biggest Division II in the country. Just so people know, the biggest Division II school in the country. Check my fact check me, make sure. But when I was there, we were, and I think we still are. I think the president there is doing really well. President Wilson's doing a great job. A good friend of mine, and we actually have some more things in store come 2021.
Can't wait.
I can't talk about it now, but
can't wait.
I'm excited about some things that's happening at Wayne State. Hey, we got more people
Look
coming in.
at this,
dropping off
more
presents.
people coming in.
Look at
Absolutely.
that.
And you know, as people come in, I got to get my mask on, and maybe Stick or Joey can come in here and help this fine lady out as we are getting more toys. We got Stick coming in right now. But listen, you know what it all comes back to as well, Joique, is I think we can double back to the conversation that we were just having. You got a bunch of people in Midtown that care not only about the university, but care about Midtown as a whole. And I think that goes right back, funnels right back to what we're talking about in regards to the Lions. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that Chris Spielman is the answer, okay? I'll tell you this. I feel better about the direction of the Lions today than I did yesterday at this time. I mean that. Because, again, the thing that I can't stress enough, it's a football guy. It's a guy that loves the Detroit Lions. I'll tell you how much Chris Spielman loves the Detroit Lions, Joique. True story.
Tell me.
So you know you've been a guest on the show. I do the pre and post for the radio broadcast, right? Mm-hmm. So there'll be times that Steve and I are an hour and a half into the post-game show, right? And the hotline rings. Who is it? Chris Spielman. He just wants to call in and share his thoughts on what he saw at the game. You know, what jumped out to him. You know, if he heard something that he disagrees with, he'll call in and in a Spielman manner tell me or Courtney or whoever it is, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And you know, when Spielman does it, you're like, yes, sir. I mean, Spielman still kind of demands that respect and everything.
Right.
And you know what? That's how much that guy like lives and breathes and loves the Detroit Lions. He's got 100,000 better things to do. Yeah. It's an hour and a half after the game, and he's calling our show. He just wants to talk football. So because, you know, to me, and you know, because I know him a wee bit, I'm fired up that this guy's going to be part of the process moving forward for all the variables that you gave. You want those guys that spilled blood for this franchise, that love this city, that love this franchise. Where's the downside in that? I don't get it, man.
There's no downside. And then You have people who come in who wants to be a part of the program, who wants to be a part of the team, and you have guys that's been here even when their career is long gone, long past them. They stay here and they're still active, man. And it's I got to tip my hat to them because sometimes, you know, I love Detroit and I went to school here. This is home for me.
Absolutely.
A lot of people play here in Detroit and then they go back off to wherever they came from, you know, which for me, this is home. This has always been home. I'm Detroit through and through. I bleed it. I love it. And I don't see myself going anywhere. Like one thing I never understood. I never understood this. And it's probably because I live here, so I know how great Detroit is. But whenever they would bring players in, they wouldn't show them homes in like Detroit. They'll take them out to like Novi or Westbrook, and I hated that. And I would talk to players like, "Did they show you any places in Detroit?" I'm like, "No." And I would say, "Wow." And I was infuriated. Like, we have nice places to live in Detroit. Like, I never understood it. And so we had Troy Reaver on as a guest last week, our first episode actually, and he actually moved on my block. And so we actually talked, right? We met, and I was going to ask him when I saw him, like, what made you move here, right? I was going to ask him that. And before I got a chance to ask him that, he asked me. He said, what made you stay here in Detroit? And I said, dang, I was going to ask you the same thing. And so as I'm answering the question, right, I'm telling him, like, you know, I play here in Detroit. Detroit gave me an opportunity, and so I want to give back to Detroit, so I don't want to move outside of Detroit. I want to live in the city. I want to give my tax-paying dollars back to the city of Detroit. And as I'm talking and saying that, he's looking at his assistant GM at the time. Oh, right now, David. I think I want to mess up his last. I think it's Mick Burke, Miss Burke. And then the head coach from Eastern Michigan, and then the developer was out there, and he's looking around, shaking his head like, those are the exact same reasons I wanted to live in Detroit. And so now you have this great community that, you know, more people are hearing about. People are moving into Detroit, moving back into the city. And that's one thing I didn't want to do. I didn't want to take myself out of the city because I just love it, man.
You know what? We are, you know, the thing about this area is we're very provincial. And I think a lot of times we're used to hearing all the shots that maybe people nationally have taken about Detroit or taken about this area, the Rust Belt, all that stuff. We're biased because we live here, we love it. I've made the choice over my life I've had opportunities elsewhere. I don't want to leave here ever, period, end of story. I can't envision a job that would make me say, I'm going to pick up and leave. I can't envision it.
You love it so much, you don't even want to travel anymore.
No, I don't want to travel anymore. Seriously, I don't. I'm done with that. That's a story for a different day. We'll share that. But occasional travel. How's that?
You on here? Oh.
But you know what it comes back to, Joique, is I think you hit something on the head. And I'm not trying to guilt trip anybody, you know, whether you're a current player here and you're watching or you're a former player and word gets back to you. You do what's best for you and your family. If you want to move to Louisiana or you want to move to New York or you're from South Carolina and you want to move back to South Carolina, that is not my point here. I'm not trying to guilt trip you. But
home is where the heart is.
You got it. But to me, you know, the guys that I got a little extra something for are the guys like Herman Moore, who had no connection to this state, zero, no connection to this state. And they even though they went someplace else, they came back here, and this is home. I love that. Right. I love, because more people, I think, elsewhere need to realize how great this community is. And especially, with everything going on right now. Look around this studio right now. I know the camera can't pan around. Newsflash, we have a pandemic. There are a lot of people struggling financially, okay? This has been a shit year, okay, across the board. And I think for a lot of people, unfortunately, financially as well. And you know what? When the call comes out, whether it be a radiothon, whether it be an event like this area responds, man. It gets me all fired up. I love it.
Hey, I think that's where we get the rap of Detroit Hustler. We figure it out.
Yep.
We figure it out. And that's one thing I always loved about Detroit. We always figure out a way to get it done. No excuses, just results.
Let's do it for our football team then, huh?
Let's do it.
Let's get it started.
And, Corey, this is you in the on the Facebook, right? Okay, I thought that was Corey.
Corey with a K.
Corey with a K.
Befriend him. He's a great guy.
So Corey with a K, and Sheila did say she wanted to bring in football minds, right? And I think that's the difference between the past and now. Now we're bringing people in that play at the game, that knows we know what it takes to win. We know what we were missing. So we're getting us in the position to be able to help make those decisions on who should we bring in. Now they have things for alumni, like we come to football games, we come do broadcasting with you at some of the football games. We have different events, but I like it. I think we need to do more to have us doing things with the front office, right? More things like along those levels to kind of help the team move forward. And I think this is a great first step to bring him in to bring in Spielman. I think it was a great decision. I think Sheila is wasting no time. I think she's serious about bringing a winning franchise here.
I believe her.
Yeah, I believe her.
I believe her.
And I'm happy for her. Happy she has that position. This position. And anything I can do to help, man, let me know. But I definitely think you guys are heading in the right direction.
Listen, I'm surprised. I don't know how this works, so I'm going to ask you, okay? Yeah. And I think a lot of times in the media, we're guilty of not knowing what we don't know, and this is going to be one of those things. But I'm going to say it anyway. Why aren't there more NFL players evaluating talent? Because if anybody knows talent, okay, who knows talent more, me or him? Well, he's played against guys in the National Football League. He's played against all the big names, and sometimes some names that didn't really belong in the National Football League. I can look at guys and I could tell anybody that Joique Bell was the best player that I saw in Division II, okay? But other than that, to me, you know what? That's easy. But trying to separate the cream from maybe those guys, Joique, that need a little extra shine and turn that coal into diamond, why aren't there more guys, more NFL guys, that aren't being a part of that evaluation process?
Because I don't think they look at us as, I guess, evaluators.
I don't get that.
All right, I don't think they. You guys are a professional at playing football, and we're professional at doing this. But I don't.
You understand my logic, though. You know talent better than I do.
Right, I do, and so I can look at a player like I give you. It's crazy. Let's talk about talent. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned his name a lot. Jordan Howard. Raheem Mostert. When you have these guys, right, on the same team, you have one on practice squad, the other one's not playing that much. And then you guys bring me in, which I'm good in the locker room, but you guys have a stud in Jordan Howard, and you guys have a all-pro talent in Raheem Mostert, like great talent. Why aren't these guys on the roster playing? Why isn't he moved up to the active roster? Why isn't Jordan getting carries from the beginning of the season? I never understood it.
Yeah.
And so, for me, I know what talent looks like, but that's the front office call. I can't make those decisions. But now, I think what the Lions are doing is putting us in that position to be able to see.
I'm telling them to call him.
I thought you were talking to somebody.
I'm just telling them to call Joique.
No, but honestly, but we're looking at this talent, and then the guys that I know, like I call Mark Mayu, I say this guy's gonna do wonders for you down the stretch, and he did. Raheem did for them when he was with the San Francisco, and so it's things like that we see as players that sometimes to the naked eye they might not be able to see, but like we know, we can see.
Yeah, it's interesting. Josh said baseball does it all the time. They turn former players into scouts for their franchise. This is a great line. Talent knows talent. Couldn't agree with you more.
That's a real recognized real.
Yep. Kenny said, would love to see the Lions heal the relationship with Calvin Johnson.
I'd love to see that too.
That goes for me. You know what? I don't know what it'll take.
You know what it is though? Even after all of that transpired, Calvin still stayed in the community. He's still here. Guys like him, Rob Sims, those guys are still here in the community. Period. And good businessman at that.
Is that Are we going to talk about time is going to have to heal that? Because there was a period of time, I think there had to be a healing for Barry Sanders as well, and that the way everything came out.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're always going to, Calvin, we're always going to love you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're one of the best receivers ever. You are the best receiver I've ever seen from a Detroit Lion perspective. Is time going to heal that?
Time will heal it, but I think just a sit down. And I don't know how the whole thing transpired. Did he have to pay back the 1.5? Yeah, get that man back his money, and then let's move forward. You're not gonna hear an argument from me, man. Yeah,
you really want to make it right?
Yeah, because
give him his money.
Because it was he could have. You know what? Because I talked to Calvin. Before he was, finalizing that he was gonna. This was gonna be his last year. And he told a few players, but not too many on the team, just a handful of receivers, a few of them. He talked to me and probably a few other guys, and I pulled him to the side and said, listen, you gonna come back next year? He said, we'll see, we'll see. And so I said, give it time. Give it time. I know they owe you 16.5 next year. He said, well, it's not about the money. It's more so about my reputation, and I don't want to do the Lions like that. And so he really cares about the team, right? Because he could have came back and not been the same Calvin, and then just, we call it stealing. It could have sold 16.5, but he cared enough for the team and said, listen, that's not what I want to do. I want to make sure they can bring in guys that can help us win. I just take what I have, and I'll step away from the game with my name intact. And that's the type of class that Calvin has, and that's what he brought to this organization.
I think you got to make that right. And I get it. It's a business. You talked about this yesterday. You guys all know this is a business, okay?
Oh, no.
But this is where I'll say, all right, I'll agree with you. It's a business. And you know what? It's good business to treat your legends with class and respect and dignity. That would be my response to that. Because I'll be the first guy to say it's a business. And there are some athletes out there that don't like to hear that. That's why it was refreshing to hear you say that just yesterday. Yeah. Look, it's a business. I get it. But you know what's good business? Taking care of a guy like that. That's good business.
Yeah, it is.
So, it's going to be interesting moving forward because you know what? This is a massive hire. Getting the right general manager, and then that general manager getting the right coach in here. This is a massive hire. I think, Joique, this could be, the difference between having a long, drawn-out rebuild and, God forbid, maybe turning things around as quickly as the Cardinals did or the Dolphins did, where both of those teams are competitive and fighting for a legitimate playoff spot. And you're kind of looking at the future going, maybe this is just the start. I need that feeling about this team again, man. I do. And I'll tell you what, Corey, I don't know about you, and I'll let you chime in a second and talk to you about the conversation that you had with Chris Spielman yesterday as part of it. To me, this is a good building block to getting on that way, man. Really is.
It is. We have a couple questions coming in. It says, would you rather have a first-time GM or a first-time head coach?
I'm intrigued to hear you.
So, first-time head coach, I'm fine with, right? I'm fine with a first-time head coach. Bringing in a head coach that's been a coach in the league for a certain amount of years, so he's been around different teams. He's been around different head coaches. He's learned things from different coaches, what worked, what hadn't worked, and he's taken the best from each team he's been on a coaching. I would say yes. I would be fine with that. Bringing in a coach that the players respect, his knowledge on the game, his experience, being a coach in general, I would be fine with that. On GM, I'm not so sure. I think we need to bring somebody in with experience who cares about this organization.
Sure. No, I get that. Let's see. The Lions should now bring in Larry Lee or Herman Moore from Derek. We were talking about the era. Larry Lee's another one. I love Larry Lee. Larry, if you're watching, shout out. I think Larry would be perfect to come back into the fold. Barry, Joique, Corey Schlesinger's another name that we brought up. Guys that spilled blood for this franchise and still are in this area. They get this franchise. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Max said you guys kind of touched on it yesterday. Do we need an in-your-face coach, a player's coach, or somewhere in between? Joy, doesn't it kind of depend on the person? Does it depend on the player, or is there a one-size-fits-all in regards to Max's
It's never
question?
one size fits all.
Okay.
It's a coach coming in, being able to know his players, know his personnel, put his players in position to win, knowing their personalities, and being able to demand respect from them by respecting them, and then in return getting their respect back. That's universal law. I mean, that's, you respect the man, you get his respect back. But at the same time, respect is earned, not given. And so, and I think that what Coach Caldwell did a great job at. He respected every player as a man, and in return, he had our respect as well.
You know what? Can I go back to the GM thing for a second? And I'm going to use the guy that I like a lot. And Corey, I don't know how much you know, Ed Dodds in Indianapolis. This is a guy that has done everything but be a general manager. You know what I mean? He's done everything, and he's had success. He had success in Seattle. He's had success in Indianapolis, and his name has been out there for a little while. Allegedly, he turned down the Cleveland Browns gig last year. It just wasn't right for him to split time. But a guy that's been there, done that, and has done everything but hold that title, I'm not adverse to making him a first-time general manager. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like you, Joique. You're doing the apprenticeship. You're working in the front office. You're learning everything, like Martin did. Martin did so many things behind the scenes that when the opportunity presented itself here, although people thought, well, maybe we should go elsewhere to get a general manager, you had a guy in Martin that said, I've done everything. I've done everything except have that title next to my name. So in that regard, it depends on the guy and how much they've done. I don't want a guy that's only been doing it for a couple of years and is the next hot name just because he's a wonderkind or whatever. But a guy that's laid the foundation, has built some blocks on top of that, been there, done that. I don't mind giving it to a first-time guy in that regard. I just don't.
Yeah.
No.
I like Martin, man.
Yeah. Hey, Corey, talk to us yesterday. You got a front row seat for the whole presser. I was out. I didn't get a chance to join the presser. I know you asked a question as well. What was your takeaway from the presser with Chris Spielman yesterday?
My takeaway from the presser was pretty cool outside of, Joique and Chad standing behind me and filming me, getting me kind of nervous, throwing me off my question. But, all jokes aside, I thought that, first off, I got to credit Sheila Ford. When she got rid of Matt Patricia and got rid of Bob Quinn, she said that she was going to bring in football minds to help with the next decision because she said she didn't have all the answers. She did just that. She brought in Chris Spielman. Apparently Barry Sanders is going to be involved in some capacity, so I got to give her credit for that. At first, I thought Chris, he's started out business approach, just being the businessman, but as the conversation picked up and the press conference picked up, you saw him starting to get fiery. Like he was starting to get intense, like we gotta turn this around. He was getting really into it. His whole demeanor changed by the time the press conference ended. I believe he's gonna help steer it in the right direction, and I'm excited.
I love his fire, Joique, because you hear it. He's passionate about football, but most importantly, he's passionate about turning it around with this franchise. Because those guys know in the early 90s, I'm sure you've had conversations with them. Heck, we've had conversations while we were up doing the Super Bowl thing. These guys know how close they were. They were this close. They really were. It's almost unfortunate that they came around at the wrong time because you had the last of the great Washington teams. That team that won the Super Bowl and knocked them off in the championship game was sick. And then you had Dallas starting their little mini dynasty. Yeah. And you had Frisco at the same time that was sick as well in the transition from Montana to Young. So it's almost like it was a total, it was just the wrong time. And to a man, you talk to them, and I don't mean disrespect when I say that, but you've heard so many of these guys say, I'm surprised we didn't win more. Heck, my boy Lowe says it all the time. He goes, Sean, you were there. we had some damn good teams, you know? And Chris, they were that close. And I think that's why Chris is so fired up, amongst other things, because he knows damn well that they were this close. And now it's about breaking that seal and going next level. I think that's a big part of it. I really do. And I love his passion, man. I do. I love hearing those guys talk, you know?
You know what? And that's your area, and that's what you grew up with. I mean, were you broadcasting those games too?
No. I was, you know what? My first year covering the Lions was 95. My first year, 95.
And that was his last year. Or he had one more year after that.
I think he had a couple more years after that. But so, whatever. Yeah, they all run together now.
Yeah. And so you had that. So I was a kid, right? And so I never watched him play. I watched him play, but I was watching Barry.
Yeah,
I was watching Barry.
Sure.
Oh man, that was now growing up. I was Barry in the backyard.
Yeah,
I was in the backyard playing Rumble Fumble.
The best.
I
mean, it's just period. All right, we have another.
Oh, we have some more gifs coming in, guys.
That just decided to pop in, and you know what? Again, let's get our safety going here.
Get our safety.
Come on up, man. You want to talk? You want to chat with us? Or at the very least, you can get a picture with Joique, right?
Yeah. And Sean.
What do you got here? Come on up.
Some goodies for the kids.
You're the best.
You guys are awesome.
For sure.
We appreciate what you guys are doing.
Let me try to stretch this out and see if I can make this reach to you, because when you guys come in, and again, we apologize that we didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, but we want to at least give you guys an opportunity to give a shout out and everything. First of all, yeah, you can come closer if you want.
What's up, Joey? Joey's in the background being shy.
Shy on camera.
Shy on camera.
Shy on camera.
All right, he's gonna get that all
Did this.
Yeah, boy, you can't blame that one on me, Fish. That one's not me.
I didn't say it was you.
Yeah, you did. I heard him. Corey, did you hear him? Fish blamed me. I mean, that plain as day, he blamed me. You know I'm messing with you, Fish.
Yeah.
We'll get to some more of your comments, but again, this week you're going to have to forgive us. Whenever somebody comes in, we want to point them out and give them some love. We mentioned Jenna yesterday. Jenna, sorry we didn't bring you up and have a chance to talk to you, but we appreciate you and always love you participating on the Facebook live stream as well. But again, Joique, this goes back to what we're talking about. You put the call out to Detroiters and they mass up. That's just the way it is.
We get
That's
it done
the beauty
somehow.
of being here.
It's so disrespectful, man.
I just noticed that. Yeah, he's got the
He came in here
Raiders.
with an Oakland Raiders hat on.
I apologize.
You know what?
Turn around to the back.
I got to be honest with you. I got to go see a game out in Vegas sometime. That would just
My
be
dad grew up on them, so.
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would just be.
So how did you hear about this?
I know Joey actually.
Okay.
And Joey was posting about it. I've been trying to come out and support. I just haven't had time, to be honest.
So you made time today, man. I really do appreciate it.
Good luck with getting this.
See, Joey's the man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man.
just hand it over
Joey's
to him
the
so we
plug.
can get. Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
All right, cool.
That'll work. All right. First of all, most importantly, what's your name?
My name is Ali, A-L-I.
Ali. Pleasure
Ali.
to meet you. How you
Pleasure
doing?
to
Nice to meet you
All right.
guys.
So what do you
coming
got
out.
here today? What'd you do?
Just got some goodies for the kids to donate. Got some Legos and Star Wars, some race cars, some of the favorites.
Okay.
Beautiful. That is just so cool of you. Thank you so much for coming.
Ali, have you ever
Now
seen
you gotta
this
go
many
get it. You
gifts
gotta walk
in
over
one
there.
place at one time?
No, I haven't, honestly. This is amazing, honestly. To see everybody come out and the way they supported. And
You know what it
This is
reminds
great.
me of? It reminds me of Home Alone 2. Remember when they had the big tree in the hotel?
In the hotel when the kids woke up in the morning?
The toy store sent all those toys for Kevin because he was a hero. Kind of reminds me of that. This is like Home Alone 2 right now.
this
Exactly.
is a kid's
Exactly.
dream right here.
All right, go get
Good.
yourself a picture. I'm going to
Let's
take
do
this
it.
off.
Come
You
on.
go stand next to
I
Joique
gotta,
and get yourself
I gotta turn
a
the
picture.
hat around, though.
You got to turn
That's
around. You
all
got to turn
good.
around to the back.
Hey, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas to you. Huh?
Get you a Wayne
Happy
State hat or
holidays, all
Detroit
of that
Lions hat.
stuff.
We're going to get you something.
Thank you. All right, Jenna, yes, you got an IOU, I
around.
promise. Come in
we go.
anytime. We'd love to chat with you.
It's all good.
I want to read something. One of my
disrespect. It's all
buddies
for-
actually texted me.
Likewise, Ali.
One of my buddies actually texted me. I want to read this because this is
appreciate
kind of
that.
the comment that we were talking about,
No
Joique. My buddy, we'll just call him Larson. What's up, buddy? He said, you guys make a good point. Think of how the Wings treat their alumni and even more so like the St. Louis Blues. The Blues forgave Brett Hull, and he ended up with his jersey hung and a street named after him. Believe me, some guys are not easy to get along with. The Lions need to patch things up with Calvin. Make it right.
Hey, guys,
Make
we got
it
some breaking
right.
news.
What's that, bud?
We got some breaking news.
What's the breaking news?
What's the breaking news? You heard it here first. Baligian and Bell show. Breaking
They are
news.
reporting, Adam Schefter's reporting that the Lions are bringing in Louis Riddick for a GM interview this week.
Do your due
Friday.
diligence.
Gotta do it.
Do your due diligence. Now, I'm going to say it again. I'm not high on Lewis like other people are. I'm not. But I'm never going to begrudge you for doing your due diligence, for bringing in guys. Talk to everybody. Leave no stone unturned, man. That's what you're supposed to do.
Especially especially in the direction that we're going. We can take this off now.
Yeah.
In the directions that we're going, we have to interview everyone.
Yep.
Any qualified person come in. Let's get your vision. We're going to give you our vision, and like Sheila said, she doesn't know. She doesn't have all the answers. So it'll be interesting and good to see who they bring in next.
That's one of the things that cracks me up. I want to get to something because I've had this conversation over the years in sports radio so many times, okay? Go ahead, Corey.
Actually, my bad. Ian Rappaport. I meant not Adam Schefter. Ian Rappaport.
Ian Rappaport is okay.
Rappaport,
And Darren said it. Darren, I couldn't agree with you anymore. Interview everybody. Interview everybody. Don't begrudge that. It's so important to do that process and go through that process. And you know what? At the end of the day, this is where you have to trust the people in power. If at the end of the day, Joique Bell and Chris Spielman and Barry Sanders and Herman Moore, whoever it is, tells me, hey, listen, we talked to everybody. We like what this guy had to say the most. I have to trust you guys. Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's the routine. He's not that high on my list. I think part of the reason there's a lot of hype about him is because he's great at what he does on the television, but interview everybody. Joique, there was a story a few years ago. This is when, I forget what year it was, but there was a story that the Tigers were entertaining offers to trade Miguel Cabrera. And people lost their minds, absolutely lost their minds. How on earth could you even think that? What the hell are you doing? And to me, I want a general manager who's going to look at every single option. Even if that means trading my favorite player, Joique Bell, even if that means trading Calvin Johnson, it doesn't mean he's going to do it, right?
Right.
But don't you have to listen? When the phone call comes, to me, it's the guy that goes, you're out of your mind, and hangs up. I got to listen. That's doing your due diligence. That is again, leaving no stone unturned. I don't have a problem with the guy doing that.
And then you also have like the mind games that sometimes teams play where they'll bring in linebackers that they know they're not going to sign, but they're going to bring them in anyway. They're going to work them out. They're going to put it into the media. And now it's a double whammy. Now you have other teams trying to think about, what are they trying to do? And then you have your linebackers on your team. They're trying to get somebody my job. Let me step it up. Let me play a little bit harder. What's going on? And so it's a mind game that a lot of people play, but it doesn't hurt you at any capacity. It doesn't hurt you.
No, not at all. Sean, who spells his name the right way, said bring in Joique and Herman as GM interview. Come on, Joique, get in there. Sean, I brought it up earlier. I think it would be awesome. And I'm going to say this again. I know it's not popular here, and you can speak to exactly what people have this negative connotation about Rod Wood that I personally I don't understand because he's not making football decisions. But this is a guy that's done a lot of good things for this franchise and repaired some serious flaws, in my humble opinion, in the last 5 years. One of the things they could do is literally grab that committee of guys, Joique, Schlesinger, Barry, Herman,
in there.
and get them in the front office to help out not only in the community, but help out in finding a general manager, to help out in a advisory role, as a scouting role. To me, it just makes sense. Yeah, and then you have to hire me. I'm joking. That's a joke.
We're jumping ahead of the curve. Honestly, what you're saying is we have guys that we know football. But like guys like Barry, Herman Moore, and it's a list. I mean, the list can go on, but you bring those type of guys in where they can sit down in a room and they can have like a intelligent dialogue just about what this franchise needs. I think only good can come from it.
Yep.
It's like getting those creative juices and getting people in the same room and ideas just start bouncing off the wall, you know. And I think that's what we need. I think we need to go back to the drawing board, start from scratch, and I think they're doing that now with Sheila bringing in Spielman. So I love it.
I feel like I'm going to echo what I feel better about this franchise right now than I have in a long time. And
something in the air, right?
Yeah,
something in the air.
You know what it reminds me of? Darren McCarty said this. I'm giving Darren total respect for this, okay? When Steve Yzerman came back to Detroit, the first thing he said is, guys, this isn't going to be easy. This is going to take a long time, but we want to get this franchise back to where it was. And I often say, if you listen to a general manager or you listen to a coach, listen. He'll give you the answers you're looking for. But I think people get caught up in the hoopla and the hysteria of a guy coming back and maybe hear what they want to hear and think that, well, Steve's going to fix this overnight. No, it's not going to happen overnight. But Darren McCarty said to me, and you just reminded me of that when you said that. Darren said to me, it's almost like, okay, I can exhale because Dad just came home. You know, this guy that meant so much to this franchise, he just came home. And eventually, I don't know when, but eventually, we're going to get things right because you got a guy that cares so much about this franchise.
Yeah. And did so much for the franchise.
You got it.
And so you got to think about the Lions. If they were to bring back somebody who's already affiliated with the Detroit Lions, who has had success here, who wants to come back and see this franchise win games, not only are they going to pull the team together, but the community as well.
Absolutely.
The whole One Pride Nation will be all in for it. And I think that's what we need. Somebody to come back here that people respect and love, know their heart for the city, and want to see us win. And so it's going to be hard to probably find that guy and bring him here. But I think it can be done. And, only time will tell.
You know what, Corey, I got to get you, since Joique has been talking about it so much. In case, Joique, you didn't see it or anybody else did it, Corey got in on the media session yesterday. And I thought you asked a pointed question, and I think, Corey, it kind of goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. So can you share with everybody what your question was and maybe what Chris's response was? Oh, yeah, pull the clip. Yeah, that'd be great. Joique, in case you missed it, and then Corey, come back and talk about it. That was one of the things that Corey talked about, is saying, hey, you know this community. You know what Detroiters are all about and everything. And Chris gave a very thoughtful question to that. So we'll get the clip for you momentarily. And I don't know if Joique and I can hear it, but Corey, you can explain to Joique exactly what was said. You just let me know when the clip is up and I'll shut my mouth so the people at home could hear it. But all right, you got the clip up? All right, let's hear. This is from the presser yesterday.
Hey, Chris, Corey Woods with Uber Sports. You say that you know what Sheila and Rod are going to be looking for inside of a coach, but what about the city? What about the fans? What type of coach do you think the fans will be able to rally and galvanize around, and what type of coach will we be looking for in that search?
Well, I think one that embraces who we are and what we believe in. And make no mistake, everybody understands the rules of playing in the NFL. I mean, it's all about winning games and losing games. And so I think the fans should look for somebody that's what the rules are. And we have to be able to find that and identify that and to give us the best chance to win the games. But I want the fans to feel proud to be Lions, all of them. And so, you know, the coach that ultimately, when that decision is made, it's going to be what we think is the best way, or what Rod and Sheila and my input, what we think is the best way forward. And I have a lot of confidence in that.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it.
You know what's the cool part about this question that he asked is that when they went on to the next question, President Wood actually reverted back to the question that Corey asked and said it was a great question. Corey, how do you come up with that question? Like, what made you? What made you? I mean, because you only get one, right? Because you were the second one on the list, and it was everyone doesn't get a. They don't get that.
Shout out to Eamon, by the way. Eamon always gets you in. Eamon's a great guy working for the Lions, and Eamon always gets you in, Corey.
Eamon's good people, man.
He is. Good dude.
He was there when I was there.
Good dude.
And I'm happy to see him growing in his career, growing within the organization. I like Eamon.
All right, so Corey, what prompted you to get that? What did you think about his response?
Well, first off, what prompted me to ask the question was simply, at the end of the day, just like everybody, I'm a fan. I mean, it's hard, even though the team does have some bad luck, it's hard to not be a Detroit Lions fan if you grew up here. And I want to know, are you going to get somebody that the fans can rally around? I believe the last coach that the fans really rallied around because he embodied that Detroit spirit was Jim Schwartz. Granted, Caldwell had some success here, but Jim Schwartz was that coach that everybody seemed to rally around, and I think that's going to be the kind of coach that, with the way everything is going, they're going to have to get somebody that knows the pulse of the city, and that's why I wanted to ask him that, like, is that going to factor in? Are you going to get somebody who is just going to come in here and just do what the heck they want to, or are they going to get somebody that's going to know the fabric and the makeup of the team, of the city, of the community, and is going to be able to, somebody that we can all rally around and believe in? So that's pretty much where that came from.
Okay, so I like his take on that with the Jim Schwartz mentality, attitude, what he brought to the city and what he brought to the team. I think we have something like that, but I think we have him as an offensive coach coming in. This is turned into what it is, a passing league now. So I think we'll need a coach like that to come in, but have that same mentality, that same aggressiveness as Coach Schwartz, but on the offensive side. So,
I'd love to hear you say that because I've been fighting that fight for years, okay? What's the adage we all grew up with? Defense wins championships, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Defenses are being crapped on today. They don't want that. The league doesn't want that. College football doesn't want that. Mm-hmm. They don't. I mean, you guys watch the same thing that I do. Defenses literally are punished every day. I mean, whether it be in coverage, whether it be with ferocity, this has become a pretty passing league. And I think the sooner everybody admits that, the better off we'll be. Now, again, that doesn't mean...
No, they're not going to admit it because that's not the NFL.
They can't admit it.
They don't want to,
admit it.
right?
Nope.
But that's why, but at the same time, it's a defensive game. That's why on defensive, on the defensive side, the highest paid player is usually the island corner, right?
Yep.
Like a Darius Slay or Reeves or... it's the list goes on, but those guys are getting paid the big bucks, right? And so this is still, if they say the defensive league, but it's an offer. I've not seen Pat Mahomes. You not seen him? There
was a quote that Tom Jackson had a couple years back, and it was just drenched in frustration. You got to remember, Tom Jackson, of course, been on TV for years, but he was a pretty damn good linebacker back in the day for the Denver Broncos. And Joique, it was right after one of the Super Bowls, I forget which one, and Tom Jackson, you could hear the frustration in his voice. He just goes, they punish you for playing defense today. Mm-hmm. It's true. I mean, I feel bad for those cats on the defensive side of the ball. So that's a fight that on a personal level, I've been fighting for a few years now, telling people, hey guys, listen, the football that we grew up with is over. They want pretty passing yards. They want, the sweet Sports Center play. They want to show clips over and over of Joique hurdling a guy.
Right.
Those are the things that people want to see, man. I mean, and that's the way that the league's officiated today. That's for sure. I mean, they're punishing defenses. You can say that as an offensive guy, and I mean, that tells you all you need to know that a guy on the offense is telling you that.
You know what? Let's pivot. Let's talk about the Pistons real quick.
All right, let's do it.
Let's talk about the Pistons. Now, I like the players that they're bringing in. The Jeremy Grant, I like him a lot. And then I also like that now, the thing that I dislike the most about coming here to Detroit and then the team trying to give me it might not have been a team, but the person that was over the real estate agent wanted to show me homes in Detroit, and they didn't bring me to Detroit at all. And I said, you know what? I don't need a real estate agent. I'll find my own place. So I ended up finding my own spot. And when I first moved back here to Detroit from New Orleans, I was staying on Lafayette, downtown Lafayette, in the DoubleTree on the residence side. And then I stayed there for a while, and I found another spot in downtown Detroit where I stayed for like another 3 to 4 years, and then moved from there to the east side of Detroit where I'm still residing now. And so to see players from the Pistons, when they in the Pistons organization, getting players to see like the nice places in Detroit, like to keep them in the city, because Detroit is safe. You know, we have a bad rap, you know, around the country, but depending on where you go, it's a lot of nice places in Detroit that you can go to, from the Boston Edison to Indian Village to
Boston
Jefferson.
Edison is so, I drive through it all the time.
Oh,
It's
beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, I love Indian Village. I just like Boston Edison because it's so much land.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much land, and these are the historical districts, and they're beautiful, man. They kept them up. I have a few friends over there, but I would hear horror stories about just like, you know, with older homes and trying to keep them up, and so it kept me away from it. But the people that I know that's there, they love it.
You know what's interesting about that? You just said something, because listen, if you're from here, everybody knows where you shouldn't go. I know where I shouldn't go. Yeah. I mean, seriously, when I go down to Detroit, and you got to remember, I'm a guy, I had season tickets as an adult for the Tigers for 15 years. When I was a kid, I had season tickets for the Red Wings. You know, that's anybody that knows me knows that's my first love. I go down there to work. You know, I go to Ford Field 10 times a year for, you know, the games and for the exhibition games. And Joique, you nailed it. I know where not to go. Find me a big city where that isn't true. You go to New York City, guess what? There are areas you shouldn't go to.
LA.
LA. By the way, no disrespect to anybody from LA. That city is just not for me.
Huh?
I
love LA.
Do you really? That city's not for me.
So it's funny, right? So
not for me.
So the first city I went to when I came out of college was the Bay. So I stayed in the Bay for about a few months while I was training and getting ready for the Senior Bowl and the Combine and the team workouts, all of that. And so I was in the Bay. And so the Northern Cali and Southern Cali are like two different states. And so when I go to the Bay, I will always hear, oh, we don't like LA. People there are fake and it's not real. They're real Hollywood. And so I had this perception in my brain of, okay, I'm not going to like LA, but I like the Bay. And so 2012, I went to go meet with this trainer who was training in LA at the time with a lot of other athletes that I heard about through my agent. So I went to go test it. I went to go test him out, interviewed him, saw the facility, saw what type of workouts he was going to put us through, saw his program, and then came back later on, like a few months later after OTAs, and trained with him that summer. And I fell in love with it. So from 2012 until 2018, when I was done playing, I was training it every off season, and I loved it.
You know what's funny? I am like I'll use New York as an example. I'll go visit New York 2-3 days. It's great, and then I got to get the hell out of there. There's just too much going on. Like I'm just not that. Maybe it's the redneck in me. I don't know. I like there's just too much going on. It's like you talked about. I need my space. I need to go out in the woods. Like I'm one of those guys. This afternoon, I guarantee you, I will bundle up. I will put on my toque. I'll put on my gloves, and I go walk out where I live, like out in the woods and things like that. It's just I don't know. It's peace for me, right?
Right.
And
you hunt?
Yeah.
What do you hunt?
Deer. I have since 1980.
Turkey? Do wild turkey?
I've never done it. No, I've never done it. We have a bunch of wild turkey out near us. Anybody that lives out in Northville and Novi, you say they're everywhere, dude. You'd be surprised. They're everywhere out there. It's incredible.
So where do you go hunt deer?
Waters, Michigan is a spot where it's right between Grayling and Gaylord. Waters, Michigan is a spot that we went for years. But now, since being in this job, I have to go like locally. So there's like the Island Lake Recreation area out there, maybe, I don't know, in between, let's say, Novi and Brighton.
I'm about the baiting.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you use bait at all?
No.
Why not?
It's illegal.
Okay. Make sure.
No, sir. No salt licks, no blinds, nothing.
No corn,
well,
no
you know what? You could, obviously you can make the blind with the archery, but I've never done archery. I've always used gun.
Oh, for real? Never did?
No, I've never gone bow. I got to go bow sometime.
You got to go bow.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the bow.
You went?
Yeah, I go with my grandfather.
No kidding, yeah?
Yeah, he loves it.
Oh, some of those farm fields out there, baby.
Oh yeah.
West side of the state, you get plenty of deer.
Yeah. So so when you do it, do you gut it right there and there? Or do you?
I had to do it. I was 11. I was 11 years old. My dad told me the first one that I got. He was like, "All right, get down," and I was like, and he pulled out like this big crocodile Dundee knife.
Was it nice and sharp?
Yeah, and he pulled it out, and he
was
he
it?
goes,
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Was it a doe or was it a buck?
It was a buck.
Ooh.
It was the stinkiest. I've never smelled a smell like that. It's a smell that you can't. I can't describe it to you.
I have a video I'm gonna show you.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you do it yourself too?
No, I'm not doing it.
Okay,
no,
my dad.
I was just recording. I hold the legs. My grandfather will always do it because I'm not about to gut it and then have to drag it out. And so he'll gut it and then I'll drag it out.
Yeah.
And so every year, like every so often, like I'll go home in around October, and then I just so happen to get home and hey, I just got a deer today. I need you to help me pull it out. So we'll go back, find it. Pulls out this big knife. And then you have to use your fingers when you're going to make sure you don't cut like the stomach, and because if you do that, then it's unbearable.
Yeah, it's.
Did you cut it?
I did it. Yeah. My dad.
Did you cut the stomach though?
My dad showed me the first time I did it. Absolutely. My dad showed me where to start, and I kind of looked at him. And he goes, "Go on. You're a big man. You shot it." So I was like, "Okay." And I go, "Well, what am I supposed to do when all this stuff starts coming out?" He goes, "Pull it out." He didn't help me at all. I mean, that's my dad, though. There's a difference between a grandfather and a dad, and this especially having a cop for a dad. Yeah. There's no way in hell my dad was helping me. No way. And he sat there smiling. I was like, "Dad, this is the worst thing I've ever smelled." I mean, I can't even describe. Anybody?
I know, it's horrible.
There's this smell that you can't even describe.
It's so funny because my nephew, he was 12 when we took, and he was so fascinated by it. He said, "This is so cool." Like he loves that type of stuff. Shout out to my nephew Zai. He loves that type of stuff. So he'll come out and he try to help me drag it, but he's really in the way. And so listen, you just got to move. I gotta pull it now. Because at this point it's cold outside. You have to drag it through like a swamp. You're dragging it over tree branches, and I have it like on this dolly. This particular time. It's other time where you just have a rope. You have to wrap it on the rope and drag it out. So, and then my grandfather goes home, right? And then he puts it up in the front yard on this big tree to let it drain before we go get it processed. And we have venison.
Oh, it's the best.
Oh, yeah.
You got to cook venison with care, though. Like that's, and for
sorry
me,
to all the deer lovers.
No, as somebody who loves the grill and as somebody who loves the smoker, anybody out there who is familiar with venison, you have to handle venison with care. There is that gamey taste, there's no doubt about that. But venison done properly, venison jerky, love it. Absolutely love it.
I used to have the venison with cheese and crackers growing up.
Kenny said really is the worst smell. I can't describe it. Yeah, it smells like the worst bowels you can think of. That would be the only way that I could describe it. Like just from the pits of your. Anyway, know what? Speaking of the Pistons, I got to get both of your take on this. To the surprise of nobody, LiAngelo was cut, and in the span of about $48 in the 48 hours.
In the 48 hours.
LeVar went from talking about how smart the Pistons are to calling them a raggedy franchise and everything.
Yeah, say he loved the city, and I'm glad he put that out there. He said, "I love the city of Detroit. Great fans, but that organization is a regular organization." And I understand that, but Troy Reaver's doing a great job over there. And if your son get hacked, he would. So,
bam.
But don't put that on. Don't put that on them. That's just what it is.
True.
This is a business. So he might be playing somewhere, but he's not going to be playing in Detroit.
LeVar is one of the smartest people.
Yeah.
And I feel dirty for saying this because I can't stand his antics. Okay. Seriously, let me get that out of the way right now.
It's good marketing.
He's brilliant. He is.
This is good marketing.
He's brilliant. He's one of the smartest people. And if you're sitting there laughing at me or laughing at him right now, ask yourself this. Why does that guy keep getting a stage? People are interested to hear what he says. I am. I openly admit it. Openly. You know what? One of the first things that I did when the Lakers won the NBA championship, one of the first things that I did on Twitter was type in LeVar Ball. Because if you remember, when they made the trade, he said, Lakers just screwed up. They are going to be screwed for years. They're never going to win a championship again. So I caught myself doing it, Joique. I really did. I was like, oh, I got to see what LeVar Ball's saying. You know, and then I was like, LeVar Ball wins again. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And we're suckers. You know, he's holding bait. He's got that bait out. There's Sean going for that bait. You know, and millions of other people,
where's
man.
the bait? It's right here.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah,
I think kind of got. What do you got, Corey?
This guy.
I would just simply say that I think that in this situation, he kind of played himself. Like, Zoe and LaMelo, they're good enough to be where they are. LiAngelo, I mean, if you want to talk about raggedy, what I think is raggedy is being over in China and stealing some Louis Vuitton shades, and your brother plays for the Los Angeles Lakers. I think that's raggedy.
True.
I think it's raggedy that just about a month ago, you were advocating for the Pistons or the Knicks to move up to draft LaMelo, and then you turn around and you call the franchise raggedy because we cut your son.
Brooke! Brooke Fletcher in the building!
I thought you needed a woman and
Yeah, we do.
During the party.
During the party. It's going
Do we
great.
have an extra
Get her a
mic?
mic. Get her a mic.
Okay.
Here you go.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, welcome.
Yes.
Welcome.
Mike, thanks,
Oh,
guys.
yes. So look.
How's it going?
Everything is going great. It's
What are we
going
talking
great.
Is she in
What
the
are we
picture? Because I think people would rather see her than me. I'm going to go out on a limb.
So
Is that enough space for you?
Got a mic.
yeah, see, well, we have to stretch out. We have to stretch out that the mic.
Is that good? Is that enough? All right, cool,
We
cool,
good?
cool.
Is she in the frame? Are we good?
Yeah,
Perfect.
everybody looks sexy. You're good.
Brooke,
I'll see you guys
make sure
later.
everybody-
How's it
What's
going?
going on? Here you go.
Oh,
I have
mask?
one right for you. Have
Oh,
one.
thank you.
No problem.
We wear masks here. Got it. Yes.
Yeah.
We have to be safe.
Yeah.
Because we're not 6 feet apart.
No, you're
We
fine.
have to be 6 feet apart.
But are we
that's fine.
okay
We
with
do.
masks? Can we stand next to each other with the mask and everything?
We are, because we
I don't know what
tested
the
before
rules
she came
are.
in. Yeah, she got tested before she came in, so we
Tested
good.
before I came in.
Yeah, she did. She did. And so, are we getting it together over there?
Yeah, oh, you're all
Yeah,
Oh, we
go
all
ahead,
set, we all
Joique.
set.
Yeah,
So
I'm
real
following your
quick-
lead, baby.
So, me and Brooke did some work together last year on the Michigan football week in Michigan.
We did.
We did, and so we went all around Michigan. We went to Fair State football game versus Grand Valley. We covered that game. We did a few more.
That's right. I forgot you guys did that.
Yeah, we teamed up
We
with
did.
Kroger. We teamed up with Kroger. We had like a zero waste, like zero hunger,
zero waste event. Yes.
Yep.
Fighting hunger
Yeah,
across the states. So yeah, we had some good memes.
Yeah,
Joy.
yeah.
Remember we stayed at a hotel.
Oh, the creepy hotel. That
It was
nice.
haunted.
It
We were
was haunted.
convinced it was haunted. Joique, of course, gets the nicest room in the entire hotel. Like something like, oh, just because you were a performer, like a professional athlete, like you get like the nicest room. Okay.
If we draw the name out the hat. I just happened to get the room.
Sure.
It wasn't because
he has like a hot tub in there. He's got like a freaking fireplace. He has the nicest one, and I'm stuck back in the corner, like in the room that's probably haunted.
So it was more like an inn, right? So it was like real like intimate, and so but it was a good time though. So we all meet up downstairs, and they had like this bookshelf because what we didn't know, they gave us like a little history of it.
Oh yeah.
They used to sneak in the people in the army, like through like this secret tunnel in the back.
It was like a hidden tunnel through this bookcase.
Yeah, bookcase. And so it used to be like a hospital or a place where people will go with their injuries, get help, and then they'll sneak them back out through that door.
Oh, wow.
And so
Where was this at now? What city?
This is like up by
this?
Saginaw? Was this up by like Saginaw?
I think it was around Saginaw.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it was around like Saginaw. And so
We were like, who's gonna get murdered tonight? Because we walk in and this guy's like, this man, it's in the middle of nowhere kind of. And this one guy's just sitting creepily at the desk. He's like, hi, welcome. And we're like, okay. What is going on? Like, this is just leading up to like, this is just a murder movie. Like, we just
Right.
know which one of us is getting killed first.
I knew it was one of those when they didn't have the car keys. they had like real keys you have to put in to lock the door.
Yeah.
Like, it was
I
real.
will say the breakfast was
Cringy.
amazing. It was charming though. You wake up in the morning, the sun's out, it didn't seem as scary. They had a great breakfast.
Yeah.
I wish we remember the name.
I can't remember. It was like one of
Actually,
those
they probably
times
wouldn't
where
appreciate us.
it was like the beginning of a scary movie, but we didn't stay enough nights, so we got out the next morning. You know,
Yeah,
so
we
it
got
was
out just in time.
right on time, and hopped back on the bus that I did a video for.
You did?
Did the video for it, which was hilarious, and we got up out of there, and we all made it out in one piece.
Well, you know, and Joique, with his background as a Wayne State guy, I've called their games for years. So when you guys were covering the GLIAC games,
okay.
I was like,
you were like all for
get
it.
in there,
Yes.
FSD. You know, I was all fired up because, you know, as he can tell you, it's one of those things. And I found out, you know, when I started calling the games, it's great football and it's a great
It is.
atmosphere going to those games and everything. So I thought it was cool that you guys, and that's the whole idea, you know, whether it be hockey week or football week, going out there and seeing all the traditions around the state and some of the cool things that are going on. What a
Truly.
great gig that is.
It really is, and especially, you know, at Fox Sports Detroit, we've been able to cover like even high school sports, and it's like you get caught up in the professional sports, but there's something about Friday Night Lights and
Love
just
it.
the tradition
Right.
with high school sports and just the love for the. I mean, it's just you and football, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
And in Michigan, it's such a. I mean, there's so many great high schools around the state of Michigan.
It is.
Great
It-
teams.
Like I was telling Sean, I think last week about my nephew. He's at Grosse Pointe North.
Yeah.
And then my son is at St. Joe High School on the other side of the state. And then I have another little cousin that plays for Kelloggsville and like right outside of Grand Rapids. And their football teams are doing really well this year. And then I'm really excited about them playing because they have an opportunity to be ranked in the state. And I'm just excited to see what they do next year. So, but the football teams now is getting a lot more notary. They getting notarized. So I'm excited to see how everything transpires into the future for them.
How's the transition been for you? You're awesome at what you do.
Oh,
like, I'm
thank
not
you so
kissing your
much.
butt. Like,
Thank
no,
you.
honestly.
Oh, you're just being nice.
No, we're
seriously,
not being nice.
No,
She's so
I
humble.
leave, he's gonna be like, that
no,
girl
no,
sucks.
listen, you know what?
Say it again.
He's gonna, I'm gonna leave it. He's like, that girl sucks.
Oh,
No,
she's the
I told you that
worst.
before.
Yeah. No, Joique, I'm an excitable person. I get fired up. What we do is fun.
Right.
And I think too often you have people in this business, male and female alike. Hello, I'm going to tell you why I'm the most important. And it's like, no, this is fun. Have fun.
Right.
And you're always smiling. I mean,
Oh,
to me,
thank you.
that's half the battle. You genuinely look like you enjoy what you're doing.
Well, thank you. I really do. And that's, you have to love what you do, right?
Yep.
And so I think, you know, you're just having, one thing I learned, like, when you're doing reports and stuff, just feel like you're having a conversation with the person at home, you know? Just tell them a story and I try not to think of it as much as like reporting, because even growing up, I've never been able to be like super serious. Like I was like, I can't do local news. That's just not gonna be my thing. It's not gonna be me. Yeah, so you just gotta find what you're good at and find your niche, I guess. And yeah. And
So-
like you're finding Joique. Look at you in front of the camera now.
I know, right? Something totally different. Like
Right.
a new playing field for me.
Yeah.
Totally different. But like
Very
you said,
cool.
it's telling stories, having a good time, having fun. And so at some point, we're going to get some chairs in here. I'm going to kick my feet up. We're really going to sit back and shoot it.
Yeah, that's the way it should
We're
be.
going to shoot the bull. We
Yeah,
are.
that's the way it should be. I
I'm
mean,
just
it's,
waiting for the chairs to come in. I'm tired of standing.
You know what? I've been fortunate.
Standing's good for you though. Standing's good for you. Get the blood flowing.
Brooke, you know
That's
what's
why I go
cool
to
about
work. I
this?
go work out before I come
What's
in.
cool about this is like I've been fortunate to do television and radio and call games and all that. This is something different. And different is good. And that's what's fun about doing something like this.
Yeah.
Because we can sit here. I'm letting people know he's got a personality. You know that. I know that.
Off the scene,
But the
off
people,
camera.
yeah, right.
Off
People
camera.
don't know
Off
that.
camera.
People
Right.
don't know what a prankster this guy is.
He
And so
is.
showing that
I need to
is
grow up.
awesome.
I know. I got to know him because I obviously knew you as the football player,
Right.
Joique Bell. You had this whole
Just
persona about you, and
Just
then last
Joique.
year on the tour, like I saw a whole different side to Joique.
Yeah.
You have good taste in music. I did find that out.
Where?
Last year on the tour.
Was I playing?
You
Yeah,
guys
we were playing.
road tripping in the car?
No.
We were on this big bus.
We
Yeah.
had this big tour bus. that we
Damn,
had.
all Herb Street on me.
Oh yeah, it was the big. It was what it was. It was
all
a charter bus, right? But they turned it into like a big comfortable
Pimped
tour
it
bus.
all out and all that? Yeah.
Yeah.
They pimped it out. It was nice. It was.
It
a good,
was.
you know, we had this driver. He was always on time. It was a smooth ride. I sat in the front. We
You
have
did
moved.
sit in the front a lot.
Yeah, I sat in the front.
It's like you didn't like us or something. I don't know. It's like I'm too cool to sit in the back.
Yeah, I think we're done sitting in the back of the bus.
I did not mean it like that. I did not mean it like that. Please excuse me.
joking.
Oh
We
my
know.
goodness. All right, I think that's my cue.
No.
Thanks for stopping by, bro.
Take care.
I did not mean it like that. You know that.
But honestly, because it was just more comfortable, and then I like to stretch out. And so I know no one's going to try to jump over me or ask me to move when I have to go
that's
back
true.
and forth to the
That's
bathroom. And so I always sat in the first seat and stretched all the way across.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good idea.
That's good.
That was a good idea, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
You didn't think about that, huh?
I didn't. Next time we go, well, on the tour, on a charter bus, I'll consider that.
Yeah, are we? Because they didn't do it this year, right? Obviously.
No, because of
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But next year.
We'll get it all back.
We'll bounce back next week.
We will.
I know
We
she's
will.
got things to do. Let's not hold her up.
Guys, it's been a pleasure
Hopefully we
being
get you
here and
Hopefully have you
talking
here
with
more
you
often.
guys. Yeah, I just wanted to stop by, so I was like, what are these guys? I gotta go say hi to Joique.
Yeah.
Glad you could.
I saw
Thank
you on
you.
Rush Day.
Keep up the
Get
great
over
work
here.
as well.
Thank you so much.
For real, man. Thanks for coming out. Brooke Fletcher, everybody.
Thank you,
Hold up,
Brooke.
hold on. Last thing. She did something with Devin Gardner.
I did.
You did.
With,
the football, the football tryout you did, or the workout.
Oh yeah, my arm.
I
What
was
did you
so
think of it?
I was so impressed with her arm.
I didn't
like,
see
she
that.
can really throw.
You went back?
No. See.
So I did a quarterback camp. Devin Gardner is a co-host of mine, and he runs this Young Go-Getters camp. And so I jokingly, he's like, "You're not going to last during this camp," and he coaches like from ages 5 to like 15 or 16. So I was like, I'll come by. And it was one of the hardest workouts I've ever done. They have this hill where you have to do like bear crawls up the hill,
Backwards.
running sprints. It was so hard, but we did like quarterback stuff, and I mean, you were impressed, right?
I was.
I said I had a good arm.
She dropped back. She dropped back. They had like
drop back?
he had his hand up. She threw the ball and hit the target. And I mean, he was a good distance away. And so I was like, okay, the kids.
Damn.
Anybody needs a quarterback?
She has the video.
I gotta find a football. Yeah,
Go to-
I'm gonna go look for that video. Seriously.
Go follow Brooke. What's your IG handle?
Oh, Brooke in Fletcher.
Yes, she has the video up of the whole
Oh,
tape.
I gotta find that.
Yeah,
That's
we'll,
awesome.
We'll
Good
find it.
for
We'll
you.
bring it up. We'll bring it up
appreciate it.
when she comes on the show. Next time she comes on, we'll bring it up.
Somebody stop by.
All right.
Guys, thank you so much.
No,
for
thanks,
coming.
Brooke.
Absolutely. All the best. Have a great Christmas, huh?
I appreciate you.
This is all.
Keep up the great
This
work.
is all. We got more stuff coming in.
This is awesome.
Yeah, you know what? As we speak, seriously, I just saw my buddy, Joique, you met him last week, and I think he's got a surprise for you as well. I think he's making a vegan sandwich for you. But my buddy Dave Hubbard, who is going to be one of the hosts of the Smoke Show, yes, we are legitimately doing a barbecue show. Maybe you've seen some of the YouTube videos that my buddies and I have done. And Joique, full disclosure, this started
When?
because, well, it's starting after the first of the year. We're going to be on Wednesdays, right after you and I are off. Dave and Mike are coming in. I'll basically tell you the story of this. We were all bored out of our mind at the beginning of COVID. There was nowhere to go. We were all locked inside. So we all got our tests, and I said, all right, we're going to create our own bubble at my house. All right?
Right.
So once or twice a week, you guys come over. Let's do something. The things we know.
When did you guys start this?
Probably March. It was probably late March, early April. And Joique, you know what to me the funnest part is? Doing the stuff that I've never done.
Right.
Because it took me a while to get brisket right, but gosh damn it, you want a brisket, I can nail it for you. That's not being cocky, because there was a lot of trial and error. But trying the things that I've never done before, got me excited, because I don't fear failure. It's like, let me learn from my mistake. Yeah, let me learn from my mistake, and I'm going to be better the next time.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about fear?
What's that?
It kills more dreams than failure ever will.
I love that. Absolutely.
True.
Absolutely.
True fact.
That's great.
True fact.
So we basically made a couple of my buddies, just started doing some stuff every week. And then our buddy, the butcher from Kego Harbor, it's the butchery out in Kego Harbor on Orchard Lake. He was like, hey, can I come in? I want to get in your bubble. Sure, yeah, man. Make sure you get your test. Let's all make sure that we're safe. We'll do what we need to do. And it just kind of blew up. So when I was talking to Stick and Joey about coming here over the summer, they said, would you be willing, to do that barbecue thing? I said, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? We get to talk about barbecue for an hour? Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
So, he brought in a bunch of toys, and he is, I'm going to tell you right now, he makes unbelievable deli sandwiches. And we have been...
Oh, he has some over here right
He's
now,
got some on there. And Joique, I'm telling you, they're deli sandwiches. Not those sandwiches you make at home. They're deli sandwiches. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I said to him a couple months ago, I go, why don't you put these on the menu? What? Like, put them on the menu. So he's bringing back the deli sandwiches. So not only can you go there and get all your butchery stuff, because look, if you want a steak, you go see a butcher. You don't go to a chain. You don't go to a chain grocery store. You want a steak, you go see a butcher. So now he's gonna put the deli sandwiches on the menu and everything. So
here we go.
Look at that.
Here we go.
Yeah, the man's gonna come out here as well. Oh, he's got his corn chips.
Yeah, we got everything.
Got everything
Homemade
in there.
tortilla chips as well. I know that. Whitney said, I love barbecue. It's my favorite food. Amen to that. Sean, who spells it the right way, I'm always going to bring that up. Brisket is a pain in the butt. Hopefully you can show your secret. Sean, I have some videos that are out there, whether it be on YouTube or on my Twitter feed. I'm at Sean P. Bally, where we've done brisket. But I promise you, one of the first shows that we do when we're in here is we'll give you the A through Z for brisket. Because when you nail brisket, you know what it enjoyed to me? Pulled pork is here. Pulled pork is easy. That's like the beginner's course. But then you move up, and brisket's one that most people have a difficult time
What's
with.
the top one?
Brisket's the one that most people seem to have a problem with, right, Davey Hub? And we've done a couple
We got everything
briskets.
coming?
We've done a couple briskets, and to put it mildly, we've nailed it. But Dave Hubbard brought by some toys. Look, oh my gosh, he brought me my crack too. Look at that. Dave Hubbard brought by some toys. He also brought in these sandwiches, and I'm going to say it again. Dave, I've been talking. These sandwiches that you make, these sandwiches that Davey Hub make, who's going to be part of the smoke show here on Woodward Sports. Mike Ivesel at home. What's up, Mike? Shout out. He's going to be a third part of it. But my man makes these unbelievable deli sandwiches, and so we've been hitting him up saying, Dave, bring back the deli sandwiches. Serve these. You're about to tell everybody that's exactly what you're going to do, aren't you?
That's right.
Corey, can we get him up? Is that cool?
The return of the sandwich.
Return of the sandwich.
My favorite.
That's right. So we're rocking with the let me get rid of this thing here.
Hold on. I got to show you guys this.
Rocking with the Reuben, classic Reuben, corned beef. Got some hot ham and cheese right here.
Okay.
Here's some more corned beef. I brought enough for everybody. Let's see what we got over here.
That's
some roast beef, some bacon, and some cheese. Real nice. Smell that bacon. I know you don't like that, but.
Oh, baby. Oh.
And then this is Sean's favorite. These are just for Sean. The Habs fan. The pastrami, the Wagyu pastrami.
Wagyu pastrami.
Just for Sean.
That's your favorite.
That's good smoked meat.
That sandwich is just for you, buddy.
Thank you. You're the best. You're the best. Dave
That looks
Hubbard.
delicious, though. Now, what is this right here? Is that the roast beef one?
This is corned beef.
Corned
got
beef.
Some roast beef, some ham, pastrami, more corned beef, and then for you, this is just special. So I woke up this morning, they were like, you better bring some vegetarian stuff in from the man. So I said, let's make some potato tacos. So I did, this one here is a sweet, so you can see a little sweet potato taco thing going on there, a little fig,
see that?
Pickled shallot, and then this one here, it's got some heat to it. So I don't know if you like some heat, but we put some pomegranate, some pickled jalapeno on there.
Okay.
That one there is the truth if you like heat.
Okay.
And then, so my wife makes tortilla chips and our salsa at the store. Mike Ivesel, my man here, Sean will tell you this.
Unbelievable.
Shout out to the butchery.
Great chips. Yep.
Shout out to the butchery.
He's a friend of everybody here at Woodward Sports. Somebody said you guys should bring by some of your viewers sometime. Dave, I know that's something we're going to build up. We love to cook for people. Right. Both of us. That's one thing that we haven't. I love it.
Did you know I started my cooking show?
Did you really?
Yeah, during the pandemic because I was bored at home.
That's exactly how we did it. That's exactly how we did it.
So I was listening to you tell your story.
Yep.
And we started around the same time. I started around March or April. And then you know what I called it? I called it Dinner Bell.
Oh, see?
Called it Dinner Bell.
Yeah.
And so I got a couple clips that I had on my Instagram of the show. And so we'll do something cool.
You know what you have to do sometime?
I said I only cooked I think I did 3 episodes total. I think I did a vegan like a vegan lasagna. I did like some vegan Mexican pizzas.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I did one more dish. I can't remember what it was. I did one like some vegan stuff, sweet potatoes.
Are you a fan of jackfruit or TVP, little texturized vegetable protein things?
I tried the jackfruit and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So I was like more so on the Beyond Meat. So I use
Yeah.
Beyond Meat
So
or
the
Trader
TVP,
Joe's.
same thing. Yeah, yeah.
Or like the Trader Joe's vegan meat as well.
So we can
This
do
is
some
good.
things
What
with
is-
that. Yeah, that's one
is
of
good.
Sean's favorite. But I know I had to get that Diet Dew
Love
and
it.
then
Look
a
at-
little San
he
Pellegrino.
knows all my favorites.
But if I can,
Yeah.
I want to bring all those toys in here. There are a couple special ones. I brought toys that I liked when I was a kid. So I got two little ones at home. I got a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they're like, Dad, you got to bring 2 specific toys. So I'll let you guys continue, and I'll bring in these toys.
You're
for
the
you.
best.
You're the
Thank
best.
you, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy that.
So go get, not only if you have any barbecue needs or you're planning your Christmas dinner, I am doing a turkey that I got from him, and I have an 18-pound brisket that I cannot wait to start my work on. I start my work on that, Joique, a couple days before I serve it. Trust me. And then it's going to be, I'm doing the 8-pound. I also have a 17-pounder at home, but the 8-pounder that I'm doing is a couple days in advance. I start that process, and it'll be done probably about 10 and a half hours. Best brisket ever. It really is. Best brisket ever.
So what's your secret though?
With brisket, it's time and patience. You have to, first of all, you have to get, that's the most important thing, low and slow. I think everybody knows that routine. We did, and you're going to have to come over when we do this. We had a big barbecue at my house. A bunch of media guys came over and some former athletes that I know came over. You met Darren. McCarty was over. He's a wings guy, so we made a bunch of wings
I'll
for
come over
him.
if we can play a little bit of poker.
Promise you. Well, I got a poker table downstairs. He knows that. I got a poker table.
I make sure I bring my shades.
No,
Hey,
but
Michael, love that.
we did a 23-pound Wagyu brisket that when you have a guy that can cut it the right way too, who knows a piece of meat better than the butcher, right?
Right.
You cut point to flat with that one, right?
We did.
And it, I'm telling you, it was like when you got that top off, it was like almost like looking at like a gold, like there was gold inside of it. It was a treasure chest. It was unbelievable. But wouldn't you agree? I mean, it's too long to get into. It's more show you, and we're gonna have to do it when the smoke show starts. Time and patience with brisket. Time and patience.
Time gives you that depth of flavor. Doing what you love is part of it too, right? So if you enjoy doing it, it brings it all out. If you don't enjoy it, it's not gonna be fun. But I think if you take your time and let it do its magic, right? So you have a smoker, let it do its magic, right? If you have an oven, let what you did to the meat do what it has to do. I think a lot of people over manipulate stuff and you try to be too much or try to manipulate the food too much, and you end up with something that's really not that good.
Absolutely.
We simple rub, throw it in the smoker, and sit around and tell stories for 18 hours, and then sit down and enjoy it. It's what it's about, right?
I was up with that one. I know I put it on at like 8 o'clock at night. And I went to sleep, and I made sure I didn't sleep long because you have to make sure that you put your pellets in there. Right. I figured out I got about 7 hours. I can leave something alone for 7 hours before I have to go fill the pellet again. Right. And it was amazing because sometimes you got to do a cook like that. You get a big butt, like I got a big butt from him, for pulled pork. I got a big butt from him. In more ways than one, but I got one when my son came home. He came home one weekend, from college this past year, and he loves pulled pork. That's his jam. Like if Jack, what do you want for dinner? Pulled pork. Jack, what do you want for lunch? Pulled pork. Like that's so I got a big butt from him, and it was about 8 o'clock at night, and it was done at 4 the next afternoon. It was, literally, it was that long. It takes a long time, if you're gonna do it right, he's got his rubs there and everything too. So that's the biggest problem is you want to hurry it. There are people.
You want it now.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Also
you can't do it.
that suckling pig too for.
Was that the best?
13, 14 hours.
That was the
Same
best.
kind of thing, but that was in a smoker with logs. So we were a stick smoker on that one, and that you have to babysit a little bit more closely because you got to make sure your fire's at the right temperature and really keep feeding it. But the pellet smokers, man,
they're great.
That's very interesting.
These things are awesome.
They really are. They're great.
Forget it.
Have you guys seen that show where they cook the pig underground? Like they dig like the.
Oh yeah.
Underground, really? See, now you got to talk.
Digging a big hole.
Oh, they dig a big hole. They put like
charcoal,
all this stuff down there to get it hot. And then what they'll do is they'll take the pig and then they'll stuff it. Sometimes they'll stuff it with whatever, rice, vegetables, all these different things. Fruit, everything. And then they'll stitch it back together and then put it into the ground and then cover it with like some type of cloth material that's heat resistant or something, and then they cover it. And they'll stay down there for hours.
Could be like banana leaves or some kind of cheesecloth or something like this.
Gosh, that's
kind of
awesome.
primal, right?
I never knew that. Yeah.
How do you think they cooked back in the day, right?
Yeah.
So same kind of thing. These big banana leaves are things that can kind of separate. All you're doing is protecting your meat, right? Against the heat. But yeah, you fill your hole with a bunch of coals, put your whole piece of meat in there, or animal, whatever you got going on, and then put something to separate on the top, and then fill it with coals again, and then cover it, and then just let it go for hours and hours and
His
hours.
boy brought his trailer over. Shout out to Jason. He brought his trailer over, parked it in my driveway, and we worked on that 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
By about 2 in the afternoon, we had it done. And it's the cheek, as you know, that jowl is such a good piece of meat. People don't realize it. It's
so sweet.
It's different. It's like a different taste and everything. So to be able to try all the different parts of the pork, it wasn't it wasn't a big hog, but it was big enough. And so we did it right. There's no doubt about that. We did it right. So come over. You let us know what you want, and we'll hook it up. We'll make it. Because I love cooking, and obviously he loves cooking. So a lot of people had questions. Kai said, I need some of that brisket. Somebody asked where you're located. Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake on Orchard Lake Road. What's the address? Throw it out there.
2536 Orchard Lake Road.
You can't miss it.
No, I mean Square Lake straight over. Square Lake, hit middle belt, go up. We're right there.
Can't miss it. Can't miss it.
Ambi Bell, which is my older sister, she said, "Oh, you also did a mac and cheese and vegan soul food." I forgot I did that on the show too. Look at that. Kai Matthews, I need some of that brisket. I bet you do. You need some meat on your bones. That's my other sister. She's actually in the city. So
are you the only one in your family that's vegan, vegetarian, or?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean that with all the love in the world. Coming from a chef and a butcher.
I had to think about it.
So they can come and see us. We can.
For sure. Oh yeah, they're gonna come see.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah,
so the sandwiches are back on the menu at the butchery. That's right. Go take yourself out to see Dave. As I said, you know what? I'm not joking. My family all said this to you, and they vouched for this. And it's part of the reason why I know one of my Christmas presents. Shh, don't tell anybody. But I know one of my don't worry, I don't care about it. But it was funny. My wife called you and was like, I never know what to get him for Christmas. Now I know what to get him. But I got this Amish raised. I'll let you describe it. But if I'm getting it incorrect, Amish raised turkey. Yeah. Joique, best turkey I've ever had. Period. End of story. Yeah. Is that what it is? The Amish raised turkey?
You got something even better than we have the fresh Amish raised turkeys, but you got something better than that. You got the turkey from Chef Steve Allen out at Stephen Rocky's in
best
Nova.
Turkey ever.
He raises heritage birds, range birds at his farm at home, and I worked for him years ago. He's a phenomenal chef, and so I was like, "You got birds to sell?" And so I got a few. We sold them. They're great. I gave you one, and or you got one, I should say, and you turned out pretty nice.
It was unbelievable.
I'll tell you now, these vegan tacos are really good. And just a heads up, today is What Up Though Wednesdays. So we're looking and we're focusing on Detroit businesses or around the area businesses.
If you want some love, come on down.
Come on down to the butchery. Grab you a vegan taco. Is this on the menu?
All right. So what do you think?
No. We made that just for you.
Yeah?
But yeah. We have a lot of, we're not just meat. We have a full produce section. We have a lot of, Sean was saying, a lot of rubs, a lot of things to help your meat along the way, I guess, for smoking or grilling or anything like that.
If you have this with this, I'll be there.
Good stuff.
Come on.
Anytime.
Jump in the car, jump in the truck with me anytime, because I'm out there a lot. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
So and it's worth my drive. I live a half hour away, but I'm going to say it again. For me,
so where's the location?
We're right in Sylvan Lake, so we're like maybe 20 minutes right across, right over here, Orchard Lake Road and Middle Belt.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, just on Orchard Lake. I'll say it again, Joique, for a guy like me, and it sounds like a lot of our viewers are the same way. If I'm going to do a real barbecue, I'm not going to the local restaurant. I'll go to the local restaurant for a lot of things. But if I want to get some meat, I'm going to see a butcher.
Okay.
Let me take this, go make some friends, and you guys see.
All right, you're the best.
Yeah.
Thank you. Make sure you take your mic off. He did. He's such a pro. We're going to be starting up our own show. It's going to be a 1-hour show. And Sean, who spells it the right way, this is for you. Dave, we're going to have to make a note. We're going to have to do brisket week 1. Can we do that?
Sure.
Let's do brisket week 1 because I know a lot of people are talking about the brisket. And Sean, we'll do it special for you. People get psyched out. I have a mutual friend in the business, and I'm sure you probably know him.
Who?
I hope he doesn't mind me saying his name. Rico Beard, who works at a radio station in town, longtime friend of mine. And he loves barbecue, and he told me, he goes, I can't get brisket right. So because of it, I'm afraid of brisket. And I said, come over. And he came over, and like, it was funny. It was like one of these. Man, what the hell did you do to this? Like, it was like one of those things. And so, yeah, we had to tell him the whole process about how you get it right. It's just
give us a process.
It is. It's a process.
Give us the process.
All right. First and foremost, you get your piece of meat. And to me, if you're gonna do a brisket, okay, you get yourself a prime, you get yourself a gold, or you go to the high end and you get a Wagyu. I don't even want to tell you how much the last Wagyu I bought was. It was a lot. I'll leave it at that. But you got to start with the good piece of meat. What I do is I get either 2 different rubs that I like. Dave sells one of them, and then the other rub, believe it or not, is a Hungarian rub. I put a little oil on there. Baby it. You know.
You gotta baby it.
Yeah.
You gotta take your time. She likes the sauce. She likes when you touch the sauce.
Exactly.
She likes the sauce when you rub the sauce.
You know. I do a little of that. Sometimes I use apple cider vinegar, but that's more with the pork products, like when I do my butt. And then I put that rub all over there.
You get your butt done?
That's how I do it with my butt. You gotta have apple cider vinegar. I learned that from the hood. I went to a barbecue. I went to a barbecue in the hood. My man had one of those Windex bottles, and he's spraying it like, every 15 minutes. And I'm looking at him going, all right, I gotta ask. And he just looked at me like, man, are you dumb? And he explained to me. And so that's my go-to. When I do pork, I have my own spray bottle. Now, you don't want to oversaturate it. There's a fine line, when it's on for the first 7-8 hours. But with brisket, then I get my rub on there, and I wrap it in cellophane, not foil, wrap it in cellophane, and let her sit. Let all that stuff saturate the meat and everything, and then I put it on the grill, and this is the debate, fat side down, fat side up, fat side up, so that fat comes down, and then you just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. There's no other way to say that. I go at 250. Put it on there. Depending on how big it is, the rule of thumb with brisket is about 1 hour and 15 minutes per pound. So do the math in your head. A lot of times it helps. Like for me, I have my own thermometer where I know, depending on how big the thing is, I'm not even going to look at the temperature for 8-9 hours. Then I bring my thermometer out, see where she's at, and what you're looking to get that meat is you're looking to get that meat at around anywhere from 201 to 204. If you're between 201 and 204, some people like to wrap. I don't like to wrap because I want that bark. I think when you wrap in foil, whether it be...
It takes away from that.
Yeah, to me, that's half the beauty of having the pulled pork or the brisket. I don't foil.
Can you do this, though? Do like the last 2 hours, unwrap it and put it back?
Yeah, you can do that, or tent. I know Dave's a big fan of tent. Dave, who was here, and tent is basically just putting the foil over it, right? You're not wrapping it up, you got the foil over it and everything. But you want to make sure you take that off so that bark hardens again and everything. And then when you're done, to me, the biggest thing that I do, and I do this in particular more with the pork, I will wrap it in a towel, but just some, make sure it's clean, obviously, but some old towel. I put it in my cooler, and I just let it sit for 2 hours. No ice in there, nothing, but all that it all comes saturating down, and the same thing can be said for a brisket. Let the brisket stand. You pick it a little bit, of course. That's right. That's part of the beauty of it, and you're good to go.
I'm telling you, when I was barbecuing, I was winging it. I was truly winging it. And so the barbecuer and our family is my dad. So he will. My mom seasons it, which is like probably the key part, and then he grills it. But he has it to a T. So he has the grill where it's gas and coal, so he can use a little bit of both. I don't know how that will work, but it works for him, and he loves it. And when he got that new grill, like it's this time of the year, but he's outside grilling. Like it's snowing outside. He would be outside with a hoodie on the grill, grilling.
Do it all the time.
And 30-degree weather.
Yep.
I mean, but that's what he loved to do. He loved to do it. And I will always complain to him because I said, Dad, we're not making enough barbecue. Like we need more. Because we'll run through it. And that was like he always made just enough to kind of, please our appetite, but it left us like a good TV show. It left you want more.
Yep.
It left you want more.
Yep.
All right. And so he always did that to us.
Couple questions on there. Matt said, do you separate the flat and the point? Yes, I do. We were talking about that. I don't know when you joined in, but we had the butcher here, and when we did the 23-pound Wagyu, that was, to me, I used the analogy I told you. It was like you took that top off, and it was almost like you opened up a treasure chest underneath there. And Matt, like I said, there's no wrong answer here. Matt said wrapping butcher paper the last couple hours, that works for people, 1,000%.
Right.
Go with what works for you. I'm telling you.
Go with what you like.
I'm not a wrap guy.
I like the bark. I like the
yeah,
bark.
I'm not a wrap guy.
But you can't burn it though.
Oh yeah, you can. You can.
No, I'm telling you, you have to watch. You can't burn it.
Yeah.
It's a waste. That's a.
Get that. I'm telling you, that temp gauge is the best, no doubt about it. Corey, you had your hand up. What's up, man? Oh, okay, my bad. Wayne said, I started doing briskets last year on my smoker. The rest time is key. I use the same trick for resting, absolutely. Whitney said, thanks, Sean. I'm definitely going to try this. We have like a step-by-step video out there, but I promise you when we have our first show here, we will do step-by-step. We'll do it ahead of time, and then we'll have what we like to call the reveal. And Joique, we'll have a big old brisket right here and slice it up and let everybody see the finished product. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Matt said butcher paper preserves the bark. I'm not against it. Like I said, I'm not against it. It's just, for me, I don't need it. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. You know what you're doing?
Whatever works for you. And if butcher paper works,
so what's your favorite thing to grill?
Man,
and then what do you grill the best?
You put me on the spot.
I'm asking.
You know what? I love to fire up my Traeger and put on like 3 different racks of ribs. If I had to pick anything, that's because it's each one is different. Like I'm not going to make 3 racks the same. Yeah. You know, like last weekend, we had some people over, and thank the Lord, both my kids are home, and so I was like, I'm going to make some ribs, and I know which way my son likes it. I know which way my wife and daughter like it. They both happen to like it the same. And then I know which way that I like it. And so I had 3 different kind of flavor profiles for each of them. That's fun to me. And your timing's never going to work out. Like it was funny, the rack of ribs for my wife and daughter was done like an hour and 15 minutes earlier than the one for my son. And mine always takes a little bit longer, because I have some more flavor and whatnot in there.
TLC, a little bit more TLC in there. It's
hard to say. If me and the boys are hanging around, if you're over and we're just chilling, you can put anything on there because that's for hours. That's we're playing cards and hey, hold on, I got to go check this. But if I'm just doing it for my family, ribs. As simplistic as that may sound, ribs.
Yeah. All right, for me, when I did eat, it would be steaks. When I did eat meat, it was steaks. Loved it. I'll go get the porterhouse. I always grab the porterhouse because it had the filet on there and the T-bone, which was like my favorite. It had the bone in, and so I will season it the night before. I'll season it. I'll let it marinate overnight, and then the next day, put it on the grill. And I actually, with the steak, I don't leave the grill. I stay there the whole time while it's cooking.
Oh, it's so good.
Because I have to be.
Are you coming back? Are you coming back to the steak family?
You know what though? And I was thinking about it the other day. I saw a steak online from one of my favorite steak houses here in the city at Prime and Proper, and I miss it, man. I do miss it. Now, I haven't had any cravings up like through the whole year that I went vegetarian, slash vegan, but it's a totally different. Oh, here we go.
He's talking about steaks. Can I? Thank you. Can I tell you about my favorite steak ever?
Yeah.
One day we had, and you can see on the videos, we had a. We just brought out a bunch of steaks, right?
All right.
Brought out a bunch of steaks, and your steak, like we tried all these steaks, but the 798 day. I always get the days wrong.
It's a fossil, not a steak. Yeah.
Yeah. But how many days is it? Was it 104 dry aged? Is that what it is? I don't even remember the name.
Seriously, the one that you enjoyed the most, your backyard.
Yeah.
That was a 50-day wet aged.
Court.
Best steak, like
Literally
seriously,
sitting in its own juices.
best steak ever. Best steak ever. 50-day wet aged steak, by far the best. By far, the best steak I've ever had.
Dial in.
Yeah.
Dialed in.
Yep.
Got it dialed in.
We also had the 120-day dry age bone-in ribeye, which was what you and Mike and I just did, what was it, last week?
That's what he was just talking about.
That steak,
Yeah.
the butter in the pan and the garlic and the shallot, that was, Mike really, I gotta tell you, Mike is like an artist. He doesn't even know it. Like, he's like a chef, and he doesn't even realize it.
He is.
He's kind of hidden over here. And Sean, the same thing, but I mean, Mike is kind of like, he gets in there and he's doing his thing.
Does.
And
He's
he
next
really,
level.
He takes to the art of it, right?
Right.
Sean takes to the, with all due respect, the eating of it, right? So Sean will tell you about flavor and taste and enjoying, a mountain of meat.
Like for me, I have like specific things that I like that I learned how to cook because I love it. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so for me, like French toast, I had to master that, and then once I mastered that, I was like, this is what I love, so let me master it.
I have to ask you,
Yeah.
because French toast is, I've heard you talk about it on your show.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It seems like every day, just like he talks about barbecue every day.
Every day.
Which is good, we love that.
All right.
Now listen, French toast, I worked right down the street here at the Townsend. French toast is phenomenal there. But I gotta tell you, how do you make it that it's different? Because everybody's got these like cornflake recipes. They got the what is it? The Captain Crunch recipes.
The Captain Crunch. Yeah.
All this different stuff. So tell me, what do? Fruity Pebbles even.
They have all these different things that they add into the batter, right?
Right. Exactly.
So
Crunch.
So it won't be added to the batter. So what they'll do is they'll have their batter with the the milk, the eggs, the cinnamon, the ground nutmeg, the vanilla extract. They have all these different things. So for me, I have all those in there except for one. I substituted. It's a family secret, so I can't say it because my mom would get mad at me. So this is the one. I make one switch up, and it changes the whole dynamic of how my French toast tastes. It's a certain type
Truffle
of butter.
butter?
Nope. It's a certain type of butter that I use when I make my French toast because it goes with my batter, and it's like going to. I don't know, it's like going to McDonald's and getting French fries with sweet and sour sauce. Like, that sweet and sour sauce only works with McDonald's fries.
Yeah.
I can't use it with Burger King fries.
I hear you.
And so when I make my batter, it's a certain type of butter.
This works with this.
This butter works with this and tastes a little bit better. And so when I kind of mastered it, and so whenever my nieces, nephew, all the kids are over, that's like my go-to for breakfast. And even the kids that don't like French toast, they love my French toast and they eat it all.
So syrup, you are pure Michigan maple, or are you getting some of that sweetener in there, Mrs. Butterworth? Well, I mean, what are you doing? Are you
I use sugarless syrup. So that's what I use.
There you go.
But I warm it up with the butter. See, people don't know this. So I take the butter and the syrup, put it in like in a little cup, and I put it in the microwave and get it to where it's like starts to bubble, and then the butter melts into the syrup.
Damn.
And then I dip it. And so once they saw me doing it, like that's oh, Uncle Joy, can we get some of that, please? I'm like, you can go make your own. I made the food. You can at least make it syrup and butter. Like, you can do that. So it's like a little, like I have it. I have it to all the way down to from what type of bread I use, like everything.
So bread, less sourdough, Wonder Bread. I mean,
I can't.
thick cut Texas toast.
I grew up on a Texas toast, right?
You would bring a chef to talk about food and you won't let me talk.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the recipe. I gotta hide my recipe. I gotta ask you. You gotta share.
Yeah.
People they're gonna be asking. They're gonna be on that Facebook. They're gonna be like, what's going on, Joique? You don't want to share your recipe.
I can't. You know what? I can share the recipe, but I can't share the one recipe that's in there.
I'll let you in on a secret. Chefs share their recipes, but they always change one thing.
Change one thing.
I've got a ton of recipes published. Not one of them works exactly the way I would make it. Not one of them, because we might omit
That's
one
interesting.
thing.
I had no idea.
Might add a touch of something here because I want you to come and get my food, right? It's different because it's touched by my hands or whatever. You know, like your French toast is touched by your hands.
By my
right?
hands.
Yeah.
And it's years of trial and error.
Bingo.
Years of trial and error.
John, to your point, you always say, "How do you get the steak? How can you temp a steak without?" I don't have to touch it. It's years
It's
of trial
crazy.
and error. It's exactly. You
It's
do it so
crazy.
much.
Like for me, I obsess. Because that beautiful piece of steak, you don't want to ruin it.
You don't
right?
want to ruin it.
And this son of a gun just sits there. He goes about things, and I'm sitting there, sweat cascading down my face, and then he'll walk over and he'll go, "It's time." And he's like, "How the? He doesn't have the thermometer there. I don't get it."
Right. Years of it, but
no different here, right?
No different.
He's smooth here. I'm nervous as all get out.
Yeah.
Sweat. I gotta change my shirt over here.
That's why you have to walk out here to change the sweatshirt.
That's right.
Real quick.
I'm with all you stars.
You're right, but I was just telling him when you walked out that when I cooked my steaks back when I would eat meat, I would have to stand there the entire time. I'm standing there the entire time, or I'm walking in to grab like the aluminum foil to put it in, the aluminum foil pan to come back. Okay, to put it in, checking it. Okay, I gotta look. I'm looking. Okay, flip it over. But I stayed there like the whole time because if I'm going for 2 minutes past 4, like it's done.
You ruined a nice piece of meat. Yeah.
I ruined it.
Scott asked, "Do you guys have the Bluetooth?" He knows this. I have the Bluetooth on my Traeger at home, but I'm an old-fashioned stickler for. I like to go in there and put my meat thermometer in and get that, because I mean it's funny, Dave, we've talked about this so many times. People want to think in terms of time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, how long does this? Well, a brisket takes 8 hours. No, stop thinking about time. Think about temperature.
Yeah.
Think of 201 to 204.
Yeah.
You get in that window, you nailed it.
Sean, Amby says, "Y'all really have me hungry. I need a ribeye."
We got you covered. Ribeyes, everything from boneless, bone-in, tomahawk, got the big old tomahawks.
Oh, you have those?
Oh yeah, you kidding me? Sean walked in. The first time Sean, this is a true story. I hope he doesn't get mad at me. The first time Sean walked into the meat market, I said, "You want to come to the back?" He's like, yeah. I said, comes into the cut room, looking around. He says, "So what do you do? So you want to go in the cooler?" I swear it was Christmas morning. He's gonna run in there, opens up the door. He says, "What is that thing over there?" It's a tomahawk, right? These tomahawks, they're like this big, this thing, this wide. The bone on it, 12, 13, 14 inches. Just a massive, massive bone. It's like Fred Flintstone, putting a piece of meat on the side of the, fall over. Sean is standing there with this thing and he was in heaven. So we've cooked a couple. We cooked a couple. Oh yeah. Yeah. But I'm used to it. He's always,
No, you know what?
Sean eats like a pig. I noticed that every time Sean eats, you gotta give him a bib, man. He
Absolutely.
got all over the
I
beard.
smell it all over, man.
First piece of swag. That's right. Adult bibs.
Listen, the most important thing too, as well. This guy's so cool. He's given us some gift certificates to give out during the course of the show.
People are listening in.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think
Corey, how can we give these out?
I think when people come in and bring in gifts, we just surprise them with it.
Is that what we can do?
We can do that.
All right, let's do that. Yeah, if you bring in some gifts, and one of these guys are here, I'll talk to Joey and Stick about it. We can't give them all out, but if you bring in a gift, maybe you're the lucky person that gets. How much are these gift certificates?
They're worth the sandwich. If you come in with one of these, we'll take care of your sandwich.
He
chips,
will.
the whole
He'll take
shot,
care of you.
Drink. We'll take care of you.
Come in with one of those, and I know I got a gift certificate coming to me. Oh, it's my Christmas present that I'm not supposed to know about.
That's right. Hey, and if you drop Sean's name, we'll give you a soda. You drop Joique's name, we'll give you something real special.
They're gonna give you some napkins.
Extra lettuce on that sandwich.
So some lettuce.
No, thank you, bud. Appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to doing this, and it seems like a lot of people are fired up about this. Sean said, what smoker do you guys recommend looking to upgrade? We both have Traegers. Love them. Traeger's outstanding.
I'm thinking about getting that
Grilla Grill.
Yeah, that big boy.
The Grilla Grill is based out in Holland, and we're trying to do some things with them, and hopefully we'll be able to do some things with them. But Sean, for me, the pellet grill, there's the pellet grill and there's everything else. That's just one man's opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got their thing, though. Everybody's got their thing.
I enjoy the old school Weber, kettle grill where I'm putting the charcoals. I'm trying to really hone in on my old school charcoal grilling of the steak. It's a tough thing to do. It's a science. Getting those charcoals hot enough to sear steak is like it's my challenge right now.
It's
it
like
really
at
is.
the very, like, do you use like the lighter fluid at the end to kind of?
I don't know lighter fluid. No lighter fluid ever. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, but why?
No,
why?
because all that, you're putting all this all the fumes and all this stuff is getting into your food and all that smell and all that chemicals really, and it adds a whole different flavor profile to the food. I'm old school. Get the chimney in there, light it up, you rock and roll. As long as you get your coals hot in a really central place, then you should be able to move them and manipulate them. Add more coals
Right.
as you're going.
Okay.
Little blocks of wood. That's what I'm learning is like how long to soak those little blocks of wood to add the heat, right, to my smoker without making it too hot or too cold, right? So I got to balance it out. So the liquid that I'm adding to those hunks of wood that I'm adding to the charcoals, that's where I really got to find out how hard is that wood, how dry is that wood, how much moisture am I going to add, am I going to let it dry out overnight before I throw it in there? That's all this work. I feel like I'm at school sometimes, but that's what I like to do. Right?
Yeah. You're your own teacher right now at this point.
Exactly. Sometimes
Right.
I'm trying to find, ways, but I'm, I don't know about that because I learn every day. Like I learn from Sean and Mike, right? They say, as a chef, I just touch and everything's visual and for me. And these guys are like, you got to get it to 203 and then pull it and do it. They know all the numbers and the timing and all this stuff. And I'm like,
Yours is
I
more
never
like
thought
a
about
feel.
this.
Yours is a
Exactly.
feel.
Yep.
And so now I shift it and I'm like, well,
It's like soul
I guess
food
you're right.
cooking.
I have
Yeah.
to.
It's like a pinch here, pinch there.
Bingo. You get it 100%.
Yeah.
Everything comes from here.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
And for
agree.
me, everything comes to here and then the sense of smell.
I'm like that with, I'm not joking though, I'm like that with ribs now because I've done so many racks of ribs where honestly, I got a pretty good idea, so I like to test myself. I'll go, these are done, and I'll stick that thermometer in and I'll go, all right, that was close, it was 196, but more often than not, you find yourself in that window, that magic window of 201 to 204, so.
Every time, almost like clockwork.
All right, well, I'm going to come in and see you because I got a gift certificate waiting for me anyway,
Good
right?
stuff. Appreciate it.
No, appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And we're going to be giving away some gift certificates, not only if you bring in some toys, but we're going to save some as well. Dave will hook you up with a sandwich, a good,
Bad to the bone.
a great deli sandwich. And for all your butcher needs, go see a butcher. Don't, no disrespect, because I go grocery shopping as much as the next guy.
Yeah.
But if I want to get myself a big ribeye steak, no offense, I'm not going to my local Kroger.
I'm not going to go to a brick maker to show me how to sell jewelry.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Yep.
Richest man in Babylon. Go take a read. Good
How
read.
was that? How was that? Do you like that?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was good. I haven't tried the hot one yet because I'll be here sweating.
Are you a flavor guy? Do you want that explosion?
No, because it'll have
Neither
me
do
sweating.
I. Neither. I'm the same way. Trust.
And I get it from my mom. I don't know why. Whenever I eat anything spicy or anything even mild, I'll start sweating.
I used to be, when I was younger, I used to go on a search. My buddy Mike and I went everywhere for the hottest wing, right? We went everywhere. And to me, now as I've gotten older, I want some heat, but I want flavor. And more often than not, there isn't flavor when you bring heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's the I'm gonna kick your ass. This is like a taste of hell. No, I want flavor too.
Yeah.
So if you can find that middle ground between
I'm telling you.
having some heat and having the good flavor, I'm cool.
Hey, I don't want anything that's that hot because you're going to feel it now and you're going to feel it later.
There's some truth there.
There's some truth there.
No doubt about it. Corey, you gonna get in here? You gonna get yourself a sandwich? Here, my man brought some sandwiches, so you better run back there and grab one.
I'm gonna get on them.
All right,
Turn
good.
your mic on. Turn your mic on.
So again, if you come down, we are going to be giving away these gift certificates on the show. He's serving sandwiches now. My favorite, as he mentioned, is a pastrami. I love the old school pastrami sandwich.
Now, this isn't on the menu, but he has
That is not on the menu. He hooked you up.
He hooked me up, but he had these potato tacos with onions, green onions, and this sweet and sour sauce. Oh, it went great together. I liked it.
He also, I just noticed this, he didn't tell me. This is one of my favorite things. It's called loaded baked potato. It's like a potato salad, like flavored as loaded baked potato.
Right.
It tastes like a loaded baked potato. But it's a potato salad. He sells that. He snuck that in for me because I love
it in
that.
for you.
Look at that. You see that? You see me protecting that?
Yeah, protect that thing.
I'm Joique Bell right now. You're not stripping this away. You would.
So you're telling me that you went outside and you ran a 40, your hamstring would still be attached. You had that in your hand.
With that, yes.
Yeah, with that, it would still be attached to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, so a lot of fun today. Seriously, it's Joique. I love this idea. It comes up back to him. It's What Up Dope Wednesday.
What Up Dope Wednesdays.
And so if there's something going on in the community, if you know, obviously with the toys.
There's one thing that I really do want to mention.
Get in there.
I have a good friend of mine. They're doing a turkey. They're doing a turkey giveaway, a turkey drive, and it's coming up on the 19th. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna get the flyer. I'm gonna bring it back up tomorrow. But she's doing that. I'm so excited about it. Let me see if I can find it really quickly, so I can give everybody the details. I don't have it. But I'm definitely going to bring it back up. I'm going to bring it up soon.
Scott said, now Sean sticks to only eating 6 conies instead of 12. I could eat 12, but I choose not to anymore. Besides, your metabolism slows down.
You think so?
Oh, I know so with me.
It does.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
Who you telling?
Once I hit 45 or something, like, what happened?
Once I hit 30.
Is that what it was for real?
Yeah, once I hit 30.
Oh, jeez. All right, Corey with the K, thank you. Joique, always a pleasure. We will talk to you guys tomorrow. What is it on Thursday?
Thursday is it was 3-1. It was going to be 3-1-3 Thursday, but we made 3-1-3 Tuesday.
Okay.
So
Well,
Thursday, let me think about it tonight.
days.
We'll tune in Thursdays.
Yeah, tune in Thursday. We'll see you guys.
Thursdays.